Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, February 25th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some NHL action this Tuesday evening. The Seattle Kraken versus the St. Louis Blues. Puck drop is going to be here in just a couple minutes. So let's get settled in with the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get ready for some Tuesday night hockey. Let's get it. Okay, baby. I had to hit you with the nice background. Maddie Beniz, Seattle Kraken, St. Louis Blues. Let's get it, baby. I am ready. I'm going to get situated here with my screens. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, I think I got all my screens set up here. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall if we get a little bit of volume, and then obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Oh, getting off work early is always good. And obviously, I got a nice St. Louis background, obviously, here. And again, it's not going to be easy to win here in the Enterprise Center. You know, this is going to be tough. Like, you know, we surprisingly played well on the road against the Florida Panthers after the Four Nations face-off. You know, I believe we won 3-1. That was a little shocking. But then reality kind of hit, and then we played the Tampa Bay Lightning and got our ass kicked. So I'm hoping that this will be close either way. But again, you know, Seattle on the road, just like any team on the road in any sport, sometimes it's tough. You know, you got the crowd against you. You don't really know how you're going to be playing in net. Joey Decourt is there, so I'm happy about that. I like the roster that the Kraken have, just like the Portland Trail Blazers. You know, they're both young. Both teams are in bottom 10, you know, in their respective sports. Portland might be a little bit farther along than the Kraken at this point because we haven't seen the Kraken, you know, win 9 out of 10 games or anything like that, like the Blazers have a few weeks back. But again, you start to see a little bit of flash out of Seattle, but again, extremely young. We still got a long ways to go, and definitely excited to see what we get here tonight. Let's go, baby. Took Paisley to get her nails trimmed and dremeled and a self-wash, which made me feel very, very happy. Stopped by Petco afterwards and got her a little treat as well. So anytime that I can baby my baby, it makes me feel great. So shout out to all the people that have liked, subbed, donated, commented, shared. Again, all the new subs that we've acquired in 2025. Shout out to you guys as well as all of the OGs. And again, we got Sarah representing the Blues. We'll see if John comes in. I saw that John ended up going to the Cardinal spring training game against the Blue Jays on socials. Shout out to John. And we'll see if he comes in to support Sarah. And then we'll have a few of us here from the Pacific Northwest and beyond rooting for the Kraken. So hopefully we can get it done. And again, Blues, Kraken, Blues. I'm ready. Let's go. David in the building. What's good? Is that rumor or is that a fact? That did they release that information or is that a rumor? And unfortunately, the Kraken, I believe, don't play until the weekend. Let me take a quick peek. So they don't play Wednesday, they don't play Thursday, and they don't play Friday, which is unfortunate because we do have Elimination Chamber and NASCAR. So it would be pretty sweet if they would have played on Friday so I could squeeze in another Kraken matchup. But again, I'll still be watching, but we're probably not going to be doing any streams. And the next time that the Kraken play will be Saturday night against the Canucks at home. But we will be doing Kraken tonight, and I believe Blazers on Wednesday and Friday. Let me take a look. So tomorrow they play the Wizards in DC at 4 o'clock Pacific. So we're going to do that. Thursday, maybe we do T-Wolves and Lakers, possibly. I don't really know yet, or maybe a day off. And then Friday, the Blazers played the Nets at 4:30, so probably going to do that, or maybe SmackDown. I don't know. I haven't really decided just yet. But again, we got NHL hockey here tonight after the Four Nations face-off. And again, hopefully this goes similar to the Florida Panther game, not the Tampa Bay Lightning game that we've had recently. But again, anytime we go on the road as a bottom 10 team, you don't really have high expectations. You just hope that they play well and they compete. But again, you never really know what you're going to get out of the Kraken. And hopefully we bring the focus here tonight and we can end up getting a dub 3-2, 4-3, or something of that nature. Oh, nice. You are going to go. Cool. Make sure you send photos. I know you'll post them on socials as well. Very cool. Excited for you. Yeah, true. Very, very true. And, you know, we have to see, you know, who's going to be able to bring the energy and the vibe. You know, I love what Shane Wright has been able to do for the squad. And again, it's, you know, let's take a quick look at the injury report really quick, just to see if there's anything last minute that is new. So obviously, Yanni is getting close to being back. He's still on IR. He'll be back around March 8th, but they'll have to evaluate at that time. It says Montour day-to-day based off, I would assume, today's date. Yep, today's date. Ebbs, obviously. Riker Evans, as well as Jared McCann. So you had Montour, Riker, and you had Jared day-to-day. I assume all of them will play. And Ebbs, I assume, will be in the lineup as well. So, again, having Montour, Ebbs, Evans, and McCann will be big. And let's take a look at Sarah and John's side here on the Blues. Alexandre Texier-Senta is out. And then we have, a few that are day-to-day, but these players might play as well. Tyler Tucker, Matthew Joseph, Colton Paryenko, and then Robert Thomas. And obviously, as we know, Robert Thomas is one of the best players on the team overall. And again, if they want to be able to win, you probably would need Robert Thomas to play. But again, we'll see how it goes here tonight. He said fact. Well, he's kind of been a disappointment, you know. It may have not been as big of a disappointment as like Greg Oden for us, but, you know, because obviously we've been able to see Embiid throw up 30, 40, 50 points and, you know, look like a David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing of this generation. Unfortunately, you know, his bones and his body are just a little brittle. And unfortunately, when you end up being a big man like that, there's usually a lot of problems with the, you know, knees and legs and obviously lower body. So we'll see how that goes with him. But, you know, it's never too late to start supporting someone else. You know, you can invest all your time into the Eagles and the Phillies and, you know, or maybe switch from the Sixers and go to the Flyers. I know you're not really a hockey guy and whatnot, but, you know, it would be tough, you know, being a Sixer fan. Again, they, you know, back when I was a kid, when they had Dr. J and Charles Barkley, and then they had the AI, you know, kind of movement, that was fun, you know, but ever since then, you know, they've gotten some pretty good players as far as like name recognition, but they've never been able to figure out the proper team. And it's a lot of me players, not a lot of team players. And on top of that, a lot of them get hurt, which is unfortunate for you. But, you know, that's kind of the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes in the NBA. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. You know, it's nice to be able to have someone that they have in line, you know, for the Kraken as Decord's backup. And again, I'm not sure, you know, if we are going to see Gru at any time in the, you know, near future or not. But, you know, like Megan said, Gru and Coachella for the future, which it sounds like that will probably be not what he wants, but, you know, that's what it is for the moment. And hopefully, you know, we can just bring it together and we can end up having 60 quality minutes here on the road. And it's not like the Blues are the best team in the NHL. They're just slightly, you know, better than what we are. You know, they're 26, 26, and 6, 13, 14, and 3. All right. We're 20. Is it 20? Let me take a quick peek. 25 or 26, 25, 30, and 4. 12, 16, and 0 on the road. So it's not like, you know, that they're that much better. It's kind of like when I end up doing the Blazers, you know, we end up matching up against teams and, you know, it ends up usually being pretty good. You know, and even with the Kraken, every once in a while, we'll end up being able to compete with a top-end contender as well. So we'll see how it goes here tonight. You know, we're not playing the Panthers. We're not playing Florida tonight. We're not playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. But again, this is going to be a tough one, and hopefully we can strike first, so that way we have a little bit extra momentum here tonight. Hyper Shaw, I see you. Let's go, Maddie. Yeah, I'm just looking at the ESPN website, you know, so every time on every game, I always pull up multiple websites from NHL.com and ESPN.com with the Kraken as well. So I just usually go, you know, based off ESPN, and they'll typically go over all of the injury reports, you know, on what's happening here. And we got Joey Decord in net for the Kraken and Jordan Binnington. And obviously, if you recognize that name represented in the Four Nations face-off. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go. Looks like we only need 4 more to get to 10, 14 more to get to 20. Let's go. All right, here we go. Puck drop. Schwartz, Larson, Dunn, Kako, and Beniers. Let's go, Kraken. You know, we want to be able to win the power play, win as many face-offs as possible, stay aggressive, you know, have good quality passing, and again, you know, just being aggressive. Again, when we end up kind of just going through the motions, that's when we end up getting killed. So I'm hoping that, you know, we can strike first, be aggressive, and, you know, if we can end up getting a 1-0 lead, you know, that doesn't mean that we're going to win, but it definitely is better than being down 1-0 or 2-0 on the road just based on Kraken's past history. And hopefully we'll bring the energy. And so far, from what I'm seeing, so good early on. Kako, Beniers, Schwartz, Larson, and Dunn, Joey Decord in net. But yeah, definitely could feel that this one could go either way. You know, I think that, you know, if a team ended up winning like 4-0, either one, that would be shocking. I don't think that anyone anticipates anything like that. Seattle winning by a large amount or the Blues winning by a large amount. This one could be decided by a goal or two. I think that's pretty realistic. Could easily be like a 3-2 kind of game, and hopefully we're on the winning side of it. But Binnington is solid, just like Joey Decord, so we'll see. Net front presence a must. And earlier in the year, in October, we played the Blues at home, and we lost 3-2. So it sounds like it might be a little bit time for a little bit of payback. And then we end up playing the Blues again in Seattle on April 12th. So it's close, and it typically is when we play the Blues, regardless if it's at home or on the road. Usually it's, you know, it feels like, you know, maybe by a goal or two, but nothing really blowout status on either team on either side. No shots on goal yet, just kind of feeling each other out here so far. Larson, Dunn, Burakovsky, McCann, and Shane Wright. Really like Shane Wright a lot. Definitely gave us a spark at the end of the season, and it's always good when you can have someone that's got confidence, swagger in their abilities, you know, to be able to get the puck in net. Nice job by Larson. Good defense there. F1, nice. Kyrou, got to watch out for Kyrou. Chen, Holloway, Kyrou, Leddy, and Suter for the Blues. Yes. Dunn and Schwartz. Oh! Ebb, Stevens, Tanev, Mahura, and Evans. Great to be able to see Ebbs back and, have most of our guys healthy at this point, in the year. Good defense there by Decord and company. Matthew Joseph, good pass. Icing. Short, Stevens, Tanev, Mahura, Kakko. Let's go, baby. Only one shot apiece. Both teams are being aggressive. It hasn't gotten too sloppy yet. And again, after the Four Nations face-off, you're starting to see, a little bit more of a focus, I feel, for every single player, every single team, whether they participated in that tournament or not. Best tournament, you could argue that most people have ever seen, even if they're not into hockey. It definitely brought awareness to the game. There's been a lot of new fans that will, represent different players and teams after watching the Four Nations face-off, and that's how you do a tournament. That's how you get people interested in your sport, whether, normally maybe they're not. Good save. Oh, hard into the wall by the Blues. Holy cow. He went in there for the shot with a little one-timer and then went right into the wall. Pretty stiff there. Nice save by Decord. STL in the building. What's good? $2 holla. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. We're at $2.98 to go. Every dollar counts. Odin in the building. What's good? How are you? Appreciate you with your support yesterday. Like I said, I ended up taking care of Paisley today. Nails trimmed and dremeled by the groomer, and I did a self-wash myself. Prices have gone up at the groomer there. Instead of being around, $30 to $35 now, it's around $35 to $40, because obviously I usually try to give at least a couple dollars of a tip because I really like the owners. Pretty cool with both of them. Even the main owner has dropped in the channel before when we do Mariner games. So pretty cool guy, and he's been able to hook me up with a couple cool Mariner photos and whatnot that are blown up to hang up here in the studio. So shout out to him. And again, it always makes me feel good when I can go to Petco, I can go to the dog groomer, and I can make sure that Paisley smells good. Her fur is super soft. She's happy. She's excited. And again, if my pup is happy, I'm happy. Facts. We got about 15 minutes left here in the first period. Larson, Stevenson, Bjorkstrand. Let's go, Bjorky. Tolvanen and Dunn. Let me know what you want to see, STL, and I got you. Ooh, give me a reminder on that as well. If I'm being really honest, I like everyone on the team that's on the roster right now. Being able to see these new names and new faces kind of work in with some of the vets and some of the other newbies that have joined the team. But I don't really have, I think the only thing that we could say that was kind of negative, really for the Kraken was a Grubauer, right? That was kind of like the daily thing where he wasn't really playing up to his standard. But other than that, since he is obviously now in Coachella and not really a part of this everyday roster, I don't really have anything, pressing, to say on anyone. And if anything, I probably need to see a little bit more game film. But everything that I've seen up to this point from Montour, from Taco, Mahura, Stevenson, all of these additions that that are getting more playing time or that are new to the team. It's kind of exciting. We're just trying to see like who fits where in what line. Again, we're still very inexperienced, very young, and obviously not up to par with a lot of the other teams in the NHL at this point in the season. But hopefully we can end up competing here today. Megan with a $5, appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 7:93 to go. Appreciate you. All right, I can do that for you. Mariners beat the Dodgers today. Let's go. Mariners are hitting in, I know it's obviously, preseason baseball, but the Mariners are like the number 2 hitting team out of all the teams in the league right now. That's a little shocking, considering we are the worst hitting team supposedly in baseball last year, year before. It's like, we have this amazing pitching staff and we have some good players, but, when you're batting 200 to 220 as a team for like 3-4 years in a row, it sucks. So for them to be able to put up, and I get it, it's preseason. We'll see if it carries over to the regular, in April. But it's nice to be able to see the Mariners score 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. A little shocking, but I'll take it. Stan the man. Let me see if I can find a vintage black and white of Stan as well. Good choice. Can't wait for baseball season. And unfortunately, a lot of these preseason games are not televised. Only a few of them are. Oh, there we go. Oh, my God. Look at him crack the homer. Looking up. Back. Gone. Appreciate you, my guy. And then, Megan, let me know what you want, and I'll be able to get you when we get here after the commercial break. All right, Burakovsky, McCann, Wright, Mahura, and Evans. 2-on-2, and a good save by Binnington. Nikkei Koko, 2022 second-round pick by Seattle. Pick acquired from Toronto in the Mark Giordano trade. 20 years old from Finland. 6'4", 190. Are we going to get action tonight? We got a Kako and we got a Koko. I'll take it. Falk, Broberg, Joseph, Bolduc, and Sundqvist for the Blues. Burakovsky, McCann, Wright, Mahura, and Evans for the Kraken. Decord and Binnington in net, which is a great matchup if we're being honest. Joey has gotten much better, in the last year and a half. And obviously we know how good Binnington is. No power plays or anything just yet. 4 shots on goal for the Blues, 3 for the Kraken. Sarah, Megan, STL, Odin, and the rest. Appreciate y'all. Hope you guys are having a good day today. Bolduc. Good defense there. And it's always good to be able to have team defense and not just have to rely, on Decord or Binnington to do it all. Sometimes you're going to need, a defenseman back there to kind of get in the way or to deflect a pass or to get that puck out of the zone. So that way there's not a second rebound attempt or a third or a fourth, and then all of a sudden you're down 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 early. But good team defense so far. Ooh, Robert Thomas. I was going to say, when are we going to get him? He's in now. Suter, Letty, Thomas, Neighbors. And we got Ebbs, Larson, Stevenson, Tanev, and Mahura. Nice job by Joey so far. He's on point. Head on a swivel. I like it. He's matching the energy of Binnington so far. About 8 minutes gone so far here in the first period. Now we got a stoppage of play in the protective netting. Yeah, well, man, you're on your feet working at, Amazon. Like I said, I've done, multiple warehouse jobs, computer electronics, saw stop, when I had to unload trailers that were like 40, 50 feet long, and there would be 5 or 6 of them. And it would take like, an hour and a half with 4 to 6 guys nonstop moving to unload one. And sometimes we would have to do, and there it is. right in between the crease. Jordan with the goal. I don't even know if Joey saw that. Kyrou assisted by Fowler. Arenko with the assist as well. 1-0 Blues. All right, Kraken, we got to match it. And that was just, there was plenty of individuals there in a little bit of a jumble, but a good pass. Nice defense there. Alexiak got fucking juked. He just got, I don't even know. He just lost. He just got lost for just a split second. Do I go left? Do I go right? And then Kyrou said, hey, good night. 1-0 Blues. Nice job. All right, Kraken, our turn. That was a pretty goal. I mean, and it wasn't like one-on-one and it was wide open. There was, 5, 6, individuals all kind of, bunched up, near Decord, but he found the crease. And again, that was kind of questionable defense there by Alexiak. I was hoping that he would, stay a little bit closer. But again, these guys are skating on, skates. It's not like you're, flat-footed and whatnot. A lot harder than obviously people realize. But I hope the defense in the future will be a little bit better, especially when Alexiak just got in and then gave up the goal. Hopefully he'll be able to make up for it here defensively or even offensively. Stevenson, Bjorky, Mahura, Tolvanen, and Evans, now they took him out. All right, let's see what Robert Thomas can do here. 1-0 Blues. Well, that's good. A 9-3 is good. Oh, my God, it was there. Damn it. Oh. Tolvanen. I mean, anytime you end up getting a deflection and then the side of the net is wide open and then you just can't get, a stick on the puck. Oh, brutal. That could have easily been 1-1 right there. Neighbors, Thomas, Falk. Broberg, get back. All right, we're halfway through the first period here. 1-0 Blues. Jordan Kyrou with that first goal. Come on, Kraken. Got physical out here. Blues fans booing. They want to call there. We're starting to get a little chippy, which we need to be. We can't get pushed around on the road. Good defense there by Joey. And we just got to get it out of our zone. Get it out of there. And every time we try to get it out of the zone, what happens? One of the Blues players will steal the puck away. Help Joey out. Let's go. Otherwise, Kyrou might score again. Stevenson. All right, we have a line change. Larson, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, and Wright. Let's go, Shane. Two on two. And the Blues have Uncle Mo on their side. Just wide. Larson, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, and Wright. Get the puck to Shane. Out of play. Jordan Kyrou doing Jordan Kyrou things. And Kyrou was a wizard right there, because normally in that position where he was at, he normally would have went top shelf to the left, but he just said, fuck it. Even though I'm going left, I'm going to go towards that bottom right or in the middle. And I don't think Joey thought the puck was going to go there. And I don't think anyone did after you watch that replay. And he just smoked it right in there. And instead of going top shelf, sliding left and going left away and just trying to squeeze it into the right. And he got it right in there. That was a beautiful shot by Jordan Kyrou. 1-0 Blues. And hopefully we can find the right combination. We played the Blues in October. We lost 3-2 at home. So we're looking for a little payback. Ebbs, Alexiak, Montour, Stevens, Tanev, and obviously Decord in net. Anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise, let me know. You just let me know in the chat when you have time. while you're working, and then let me know what you want for a photo or two, and I got you. And in an hour and a half, when the matchup will probably be in like the third period, I would assume the Mavericks play the Lakers. It's Luka, going against his former team. But, obviously it's not going to be in Dallas. It's in LA, but I will turn that on when it comes on. And we'll see if Luka ends up going off for 30, 40, 50 tonight. I mean, obviously if you're playing in LA with LeBron and they decide to give him the ball a little extra, he might be able to put on a show. I mean, he can put on a show regardless, but too bad Anthony Davis isn't healthy, and so that way we could see like player for player and a true matchup. But that's the NBA for you. A lot of injuries. 24th goal for Cairo. Ebbs, Montour, Stevens, Tanev, and Alexiak. Let's go, Ebbs. Kraken having a hard time to get more than 2 passes to teammates before it gets poked away or stolen. Got to find the right combo here. Suter, Sundquist, Joseph, Leddy for the Blues. Seven shots on goal for the Blues. Very dominant here so far in their zone. Kraken only 3 shots. DeCord's doing the best that he can, but we need some offense. Ebbs, Montour, Stevens, Tanev, Alexiak on the line. 8 minutes to go here in the first period. Kraken down by 1. Pass to Mitchell Stevens, wide. Come on now, be a little bit more crisp. Leddy. There we go. Good save by DeCord. I like Joey's mask tonight. Always stylish. All right, got you. Schwartz, Larson, Kako, Beniers, and Dunn. Let's go. Good save by DeCord. Hell, that could have been 2-0 Blues. A lot of pressure on Joey tonight. Got to help him out. I got these 2, and then let me know who else that you want photo-wise, and I'll go in my bucket and look. But if you got another individual, or I can always try to find something new as well. Holloway, Kyrou, Shen, Falk, and Broberg for the Blues. Larson, Stevenson, Dunn, Tolvanen, and Bjorkstrand for the Kraken. Come on, Seattle. I just want us to be able to pass the puck to each other, and get a little confidence here. It's like the defense has been much better for the Blues here so far than for the Kraken. It's been the puck has been in the Blues zone way. Ooh, good defense there. Poke it away. Uh-oh, we got a penalty. God damn it. Minor penalty tripping. Fuck. Well, the Blues are going to have a very good chance to be able to go up 2-0 now. Oh. Tolvanen with the tripping, the minor. Fucking A, and just like that, 2-0 Blues. I mean, you just, when you know, you know. And Oscar Sundqvist on the power play. Thomas, he's like, hey, let me get in on that assist. The Kraken they struggle. I mean, as soon as a team gets into a power play, it's not like the other team scores right away or every time, but it definitely, based on watching this team play the last couple of years, if they have, a groove, going, our defense isn't really our specialty. And that was easy peasy lemon squeezy. And wow, Sundqvist with authority, 2-0 Blues. Uh-oh. But I'm not surprised. But we just got to get some offense here. It can't be so one-sided. Fowler, Thomas, Sundqvist, Wright, McCann, Mahura, Burakovsky, and Evans. Come on, offense. Or if we can even get ourselves a power play advantage, that could help. But the problem is even when we get a power play, there's no guarantee that we score. I'm not sure what the percentages are for Seattle compared to every other bottom 10 team in the NHL, but, it's an advantage when you have a power play, but, we don't really take advantage of it enough like some of the other teams. Obviously, some of that is, coaching, personnel, the line that's in during that time period when you have the power play opportunity. There's a lot of factors. Being young. And plus, we have a lot of new players, this season. And, if you look at last year's roster and this year's roster, it's, there's some similar names and familiar names, but there's a lot of new names that's on the roster if you actually pay attention and take a look. And we don't really have any shitty new players. All of them are good. Big check into the boards. Kyrou and Sundqvist with goals early on. 2-0 Blues. Maddie skates off to the bench with the line change. Larson, Bjorky, Tolvanen, Dunn, and Stevenson. Blues with the little poke away. Kraken with the steal. Hi, Paisley. I'm going to make a little bed area for Paisley here. Give me 1 sec. Want to lay down? Lay down. Lay down. Daddy's got to work. Lay down. Lay down, honey. I don't know if Schwartz is going to have a goal tonight. I mean, we're on the road. Seattle is very unpredictable. Sometimes we'll play, a top-notch contender like the Florida Panthers and somehow, some way win. And then you feel pretty good, and then all of a sudden the next game you play the Tampa Bay Lightning and you just get obliterated. So, at this point, am I surprised? Not really, but I'm hoping that the offense. I'm a little shocked the offense is being kind of manhandled here by the Blues. I get it, we're on the road, but typically when we play the Blues, it usually ends up being within only a goal or two, not like 5-0 or 4-1 or whatever the hell this is pacing to be. I mean, at this point, it's pacing to be 6-0, and hopefully we can get some offense here. Come on, right? And it's like every time we end up getting a steal, we just turn it over like immediately on the next pass. But you got to credit St. Louis's defense, the Blues. So Suter, Shen, Letty, Kairu, Holloway, Alexiak, Burakovsky, McCann, Montour, and Wright. I like this line that we have in here with Wright, Montour, McCann, and then Burakovsky and Alexiak as wingers and forwards and defensemen there. Come on, baby. Good save by Decord. Commercial break here. Anything else that you want to be able to see F1 related wise? You got another individual that you want me to be able to pull up? Megan, let me know based off your dono. 2-0 Blues. We're pacing for a 6-0 shellacking. I don't believe it will get to that point. At least I'm praying it won't. But offensive opportunities have been very slim to none here. Kind of feels like I'm watching that Tampa Bay Lightning again. Game all over again, but it's like for the Kraken to be able to win games like this, where we end up playing an opponent that's pretty close to where we're at, you have to score first, and you have to score often. Not to say that we can't come back and win this, but I mean it's been pretty one-sided so far. It would be pretty shocking. Like if the Blues didn't score anything the rest of the way and then we score 3 and we win 3-2. I don't know if you played this game 100 times. I don't know how many times that scenario happens, like once or twice, but you never know. Thomas, Fowler, Neighbors, Marenko. Short's done. Beniers, Kako, and Larson. See if we can get some offense going. Come on, Piper Shaw. Let's go. Schwartz done. Beniers, Kako, and Larson. Come on, Kraken. Let's try to be able to have at least one offensive possession where we can pass it to teammates at least a couple times before you turn it over. Defense has been elite for the Blues tonight. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time that we had a period where we were only sitting at 3 or 4 shots with 3 minutes to go or less. That's a little low for Seattle. 11 shots on goal, and out of the 4, none of them have been really that close. Maybe 1 out of the 4 had a shot. Another steal by the Blues. What's new? Got you. Oscar Sundquist, Jordan Kyrou, just dominating the hell out of the Kraken. Come on, Seattle. Short's done. Beniers, Kako, Larson. Let's go. Shot a little wide there. Here we go. See if we can set something up here. Get in the zone and not auto zone. Get back. Gosh, man. We're very sloppy out there, but again, you have to credit the Blues defense. Oh, God. Deflected. Could have been 3-0 there. And once we get into intermission, I'll be able to get everything loaded up properly. 2-0 Blues with about a minute to go. Alexiak, Stevenson, Bjorkstrand, Montour, Tolvanen. Good check on the boards by the Blues. Suter, Shen, Letty, Kyrou, and Holloway. It's been all St. Louis. Alexiak, Stevenson, Bjorky, Montour, and Tolvanen. Come on, Kraken. Wow. The passing is just so on point. I mean, they're setting up their teammates for one-timers, and, it's like almost like a give and go in basketball, like, or, a backdoor cut, and then you're on the same page with your teammates, and they're able to execute the passing. And luckily, Decord has a head on the swivel because, based on how the Blues are playing, we easily could be down 3-0 or 4-0. Hoping that we get a little bit of defensive help. But, man, the passing has been exquisite. That last one should have went in. Joseph had a real good chance there. See if we can hold on here and hopefully get at least one good attempt before the first period ends to get it to 2-1. It's kind of looking like it'll be 2-0, and we're going to have to wait to the second period. Regroup and figure out a way to try to get a goal in net. About 30 seconds to go. Less than 30 seconds to go. Second to go. Come on, Maddie. Ooh. Fucking took Maddie down. Maddie went down to one knee. 14-4. Terrible. So lopsided. But hopefully second period will be better. And the third period. And that's it. End of the first period. 2-0 Blues. Skip in the building. What's good? Let's get some photos up for Megan. Based off the donos. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Trying to hit 20 in the first hour and a half, 30 to 50 if we get the volume. And what are we at? 7:93 to go to hit the dono goal. That's some speed right there. Look at those. Holy moly. Imagine sitting in one of those going around the track. Appreciate you very, very much. And obviously we ended up getting Stan the Man for STL and his dono. And then some F1 for Megan. 2-0 Blues. Again, not surprised, but, was a little disappointed. I was thinking that we'd at least have a few more decent shots on goal, but again, not really necessarily all the Kraken's fault. You have to give the opposing team, the Blues, credit. Passing has been crisp. Every team defense has been fantastic. They've been able to find the zone often and early and capitalize, and hopefully we can get a goal in the first part of the second period to at least, kind of stop the bleeding here. See if I can find one more here before we transition into some NHL photos. I mean, I love NASCAR, but my gosh, those vehicles, look at that. That's something. The aerodynamics, beautiful. All right, let's go with some NHL or hockey throwback photos or anything that we're kind of going through. So see what I can find. See what kind of Brett hole I can find and anything Kraken wise, if there's anything worth showing or sharing. I got a lot of memories of Brett, on the Blues, because I remember I collected Pro Set NHL, hockey cards back then, and normally it was basketball, baseball, football, and then I collected Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards, and then they had those 80 hairband rocker cards that you could buy, and those were fucking cool. Like anything that was a card that was cool that I would collect. But I remember pulling a couple Brett holes when I was 6, 7, 8 years old and whatnot, and putting it in the binder and whatnot, even though that wasn't my favorite team or anything. But obviously, everyone knew Wayne Gretzky, everyone knew Mario Lemieux, and Brett Hull's name definitely came up after those two. And I have fond memories of watching him when I was younger and collecting some of the cards too as well. Mahura on the mic. Yeah, definitely not the best performance out of the Kraken, but we'll see how the second and third period go. Parade, drinking the champagne. All right, Brett, I see you. Blues with a cup in 2019. Oh, holy cow. I just had a flashback here. And especially if you were a decent player back in the day, you ended up having a video game for some, like on Sega or Super Nintendo. Oh my God. Old school. Brett Hull hockey on the Super Nintendo. Oh my goodness. The replay value on a lot of the games back in the day were pretty damn good though. Take a quick look to see what we got. Scores: Celtics 93, Raptors 80, Cavs 62, Magic 47, Rockets 44, Bucks 36, Grizzlies down to the Suns 57-50, Spurs up by 15 with no Wemby 35-20, and then we have the Hornets Warriors and Mavs Lakers at 7. So in an hour and 6 minutes, I'm going to turn on Mavs Lakers just to be able to see Luka play against his former team. So. And obviously, if the Kraken weren't playing today, that's what we would have done for a stream. So, anything that you want to be able to see, Kip? I'm not sure how long you're going to be in here for, but we got a few minutes to kill here before we get into the second period of this particular matchup. You got something that you want to be able to represent on the channel? Doesn't necessarily have to be Philadelphia Eagles. Can be something else if you'd like. Shakir, I did see that. And he deserves it. You know, he was the most reliable receiver that they had until, you know, even when they ended up making the trade for Coop and whatnot. But Keon Coleman had the potential and was supposed to be the guy, you know, but I think that if you had to, you know, obviously it's Josh Allen 1 and then James Cook 2, and then going to the tight end, whoever it is, typically 3, right? And then you probably would say, you know, Shakir, you know, would probably be the main option. And, you know, he had a nice little run for about 4 or 5 games. He didn't even drop a pass. Like, he literally went like 7 for 7, 8 for 8, 10 for 10. You know, he didn't really drop too many passes. So that's one thing to look at with Shakir. You know, he definitely gets a lot of targets, but he doesn't drop a whole lot. And that's a good, you know, that's a good negotiation, you know, skill to be able to have. You know, be like, listen, you know, like, look at everyone else when Allen threw the ball. Like, I don't drop the football. Like, you know, if it's near me, I get it. And he was a valuable piece, and we'll see what happens with that moving forward. I don't know. I got the ESP, bro. Step over Tyronn Lue. And I was a big Iverson fan. You know, I watched him in high school. I watched, you know, Above the Rim. You know, I watched, you know, him at Georgetown. And then obviously when he ended up getting drafted, you know, I ended up begging, you know, to get a rookie Iverson red rookie jersey champion, you know, because it was a champion brand back then. And we used to go to night court where it would be a gathering of a bunch of people, you know, guys and girls around that age group that could go to the middle school or the high school and hoop it up, you know, for 4 or 5 hours, you know, in the different gyms and, you know, get some games going, which was pretty cool. They don't really have anything like that anymore. But back in the day, that was a thing that was pretty big here in Oregon. And I would always be rocking the AI rookie jersey. I mean, I had the Penny, Anthony Hardaway rookie jersey as well. That one was dope. I had Alonzo Mourning in the teal, you know, and then I even had like random throwback ones that no other kids had in the school just because I thought they were dope. Like I had a Derek Coleman Nets. You know, I definitely had quite a few different options, but I think the Iverson was probably my favorite one out of them all as far as like the champion jerseys are concerned. And that was back when I was like in 7th, 8th grade. Amazing time. 1996. Not JT in the building. What's good? See what other angles I can find. I have this particular option here. What's good? Not JT. Kraken down 2-0. Doing Blazers on Wednesday and Friday. Luka is coming on against his former team in an hour, so I'm going to turn that on, and I'll kind of go over that as well at the same time as the Kraken. Hope you're having a good day. At least I don't have to hear the Burger King commercial over and over and over again, so that's good. Debating on grocery store. Well, it really depends on what you need to get there. If it's beverage or if it's food, that usually is a determining factor. Like, what do you have at the house? And do you actually need to leave or not? Sometimes, a little walk outside or, a little trip to the store can, help out with that. I feel that a lot of eggs, yeah, especially with eggs prices going up here in the States and whatnot, but you can do a lot with eggs, man. I feel like even one of those things happens when you feel like lazy or lethargic or tired, whether you put in a long day or not. Sometimes just pushing yourself and going and getting whatever you need to get done and doing it. And then, once you actually get back and you have the item there, then it's up to you to, if you want to further go, make something or not. But it's always better to have something available than to want something and it's just not there. And then you're going to have to leave and, go grab something. So, but hopefully whatever your mission is, I don't know if you have an omelet, type of dinner that, you had some kind of game plan that you were going to go through. But I always feel, me compared to, the average person, I'm definitely going to be, pushing myself and grinding, a little bit harder than some. And, sometimes it's not something that you want to do, but I always feel like even when you make food, right? Like you can go get, food ordered, but I always feel that like when you go out of your way and you make something, it tastes better because you put in your time and your energy and your love into it, regardless of what it is. It can be like the simplest thing. But, just the simple fact that you take the time, like you can savor each bite and you're like, dude, I made this. Like I didn't feel good, didn't really want to, but then you can, put a little bit of energy in if you got it in you, and then sit down, watch one of your favorite shows or whatever, game is on. And then you can kind of pair it up where you have something entertaining to watch with some good food. I mean, what's better than that? I mean, that's the peak day, You got a show that you want to watch on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, or a game to watch. Boom. You ended up making, breakfast for dinner. Sounds like a pretty amazing day. Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. But did you hear why that the eggs went up to that type of price? Did you ever hear the story why that it went up so much here in the United States, not just in Oregon and Washington, but all over? There's a couple big articles on the reason why in the last week or two. Not sure if you saw that or not. Nice. Around 95. Now, yeah, and there was some good stuff back then. That was like when, you had Fleer, and then they had new stuff like Flare, and, you had some, kind of upper end, because it's in the early 90s, it was like Stadium Club, Beam Team. That was the thing. And then they ended up kind of coming up with these other brands that were, glossy cards, high end. Some of them even had like a protective sticker that you could peel off on the front. They had some real quality stuff back then with like the Kevin Garnett rookies, the Tim Duncan, Upper Deck SP. Like I got a stack here where for a while I would only buy rookie cards. Like I wasn't buying boxes and packs, because I felt like I'm never going to get those, one or two main cards if I have to spend all this money. So if I ended up going to the card shop and, buying like a rookie card a week, or, one or two a week, or one or two every 2 weeks, and that way, I'll get this particular one. And I did that for a few months and accumulated quite a, nice little stack of some, Hall of Fame basketball players and whatnot. And obviously, made sure to have the Dwayne Wade rookies and the Carmelos and the LeBrons, in 03, knowing that was going to be kind of a resurgence time. And obviously when Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan came out, there was a pretty frenzy. Oh, SPX, beautiful stuff, man. Just to be able to die cut cards, but like to be able to see like how cards are now. And obviously the way that the grading card companies are just making so much money off everyone. And, it feels like a lot of kids, it's not really a hobby anymore. It's like an adult hobby, and it's, you get Pokemon and, all these other options, but, it's super cutthroat now. And the packs are so expensive, and, it's like breakers and boxes. Like, I mean, I don't expect to be paying $1 to $5 per pack like I was when I was a kid. But I mean, sometimes, the pricing is ridiculous. Like I saw a thing that they had some WNBA cards that were even more than the men's in the NBA for a particular box. And I was like, okay, well, how much is the men's? And the men's box was like 600, 700. And I was like, holy fuck. Okay, well, how much is the women's box? Because they're trying to get the Caitlin Clark rookies and shit. 1,200. I'm like, no fucking kid can afford that. I mean, can you imagine? Like working for 6 months and affording like 2 packs? Like, holy hell. And then if you get 2 packs, you probably don't get shit. I've seen a lot of content, where, yeah, you definitely see like the, oh my God, Paul Skeens auto, and then you get these like amazing things, oh my God, Shohei, dual autograph auto with Mookie or something. But, but how many times do you, it's like, gambling. You only hear about the good stuff. You don't hear about, how much money was spent where, you ended up getting just a bunch of shit. Or you ended up getting an autograph, but it's like some jobber no name, All right, we're in the second period now. Let's go. Bennington with the save. Oh, power play, huh? Power play Kraken. Pops Chrome. Oh, man. Just even you bringing up the names, because not everyone's going to remember, it's like you either were in that moment or, or not. So. Yeah, I mean, it's all about condition. Obviously if it's, just a regular card that's not graded, it's only going to give you so much value. But, if you end up getting a 9 or a 10 through like PSA or BGS, that could, triple, quadruple, it could go up a lot. I mean, I like I said, I don't have, I still got some pretty good stuff, but, I had to part with some, stuff that I wish I still had. A couple Ichiro rookies that I had to part with at the time. And then obviously sacrificing my, 1986 Fleer PSA 9 Jordan rookie, which typically goes for about 20, 30,000 now. But when I ended up getting it, I only paid $1,000 on eBay in LeBron's rookie year in 03, and it was worth $2,500 because the economy was down and people needed cash bad. And, I bid with like 40, 50 other people, and somehow, some way I got the winning bid, and it was like $980 and $20 for insurance to make sure I could get the card. And so $1,000 for a $2,500 card, knowing that it could go up 5, 10, 20, 30,000, even in the 9 grade. And again, if I didn't have dreams and goals I would definitely have that card still to this day. And then at some point, I probably would have invested, in a business or something, other than just like a car or a house, in it. But I did have it for quite a long time. I had it from 2003 all the way to 2016, 17. So I had it for 13, 14 years. But when you have a card that's worth that much, and it kind of gives you those vibes of like a gold bar or something just crazy. Like there's definitely a weird feeling when you have it in your hands. Like, a card that's that valuable and not very many people have even seen one, even a bent one. Like I remember here in Oregon, I think I've only seen one Jordan rookie in 20, 30 years at one card shop. And this was back in the day and it was bent and they were still trying to get like $400 or $500 for it and whatnot. But wish I still had it. But again, to be where I'm at now and to be able to, sacrifice something for my dreams. And, sometimes you have to, you have to do those hard decisions. And, I got no regrets. I had it for a long time and, $20,000 card, or 20,000 subs and counting, and being able to help people out, building the relationships, being able to do this full time, as a job. I think everything kind of happens for a reason. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford that grade again, not at the price that it's at now, or if Jordan passes away, it'll go up to 50 to 100K, but maybe I will be able to afford an 8, like one grade below it that I own, maybe one day, but not really on the priority list, but it would be cool to have that card again. Ebb, Stevenson, Burakovsky, Mahura, and Evans. Letty, Fowler, Sundquist, Kyrou. Come on, Kraken. Good save by Bennington there. Maybe being on this other opposite side of the ice, maybe we'll have better luck on this second period. Come on, Seattle. But the Blues defense has been smothering. We haven't really had very many good opportunities tonight. Well, Kyrou's got 8 goals in 10 games against the Kraken. That's fucking good. Jesus. Oh, and there it is. 3-0 Blues. Damn it. Robert Thomas, you already knew at some point or another. But again, if you can't play defense, or you just don't have the right personnel, it's really, really hard. And then if you have a hard time scoring offensively on top of that, then you end up having a 3-0 score. Come on, Kraken. Nice job, Sarah. Looks like an ass whooping that you guys are putting on us. Not surprised. I was hoping that it would be a little bit more competitive, but Kraken on the road, one game might be the Panthers and you play great and you overachieve. Then, reality sets in. You play the Lightning and you get, obliterated. And we're about to get obliterated here unless something drastically changes. But Robert Thomas, assisted by Jake Neighbors and Philip Broberg. Man, passing so crisp for the Blues. Wow, that was way too easy. Yeah. Well, I got to establish this channel first, and then definitely down the road, if I end up doing, Northwest Wrestling Fanatics, I already have that, as a secondary, even though we're not doing any recordings on it, but I already, have it, under the umbrella of Northwest Sports Fanatics and whatnot. But yeah. Oh, Kraken getting whooped. Are they trying to review this to see if it was? Yeah, that goal is definitely going to stand. All right, 3-0 Blues. Come on, Kraken. Larson, McCann, Dunn, Kako, and Beniers. But, this is kind of the reason why I usually lean a little bit more towards Blazers. It's like, I want to make sure my mental health is on the highest level it possibly can. And, Blazers might be a bottom 10 team in the NBA, but they've been playing really good ball in the last month or so, but with Seattle, they're just still incredibly young. I'm just hoping that they'll be able to turn the page and turn the corner sooner than later, but so are you going to go get those eggs or what, bro? You gonna make the omelet? You gonna go to the grocery store? It's only 6:14. Still early, bro. Falk, Sundquist, Joseph, Broberg, Modu, Ebbs, Montour, Stevens, Tanev, and Evans. Come on, Seattle. This is embarrassing. And it's like Joey Decord isn't terrible. This isn't like we got Grubauer in net, and it's, getting out of control, and maybe he'll give up 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. But again, it's like if your defense isn't very good and you're getting smothered on offense and you can't really score, and on top of that, you're not really a very good goal-scoring team, and then all of a sudden you get bullied, and look at that, 4-0. Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. It's Zach. The Zach attack, and we're not talking Saved by the Bell. Oscar Sundquist and Justin Falk with the assist. 4-0 Blues. Jesus Christ. Well, the Kraken don't have a game until Saturday. Maybe that's a good thing. They got to figure shit out because, man, my God. I mean, Blazers didn't play tonight. We, could have did the Laker game versus the Mavs. I'm still going to turn that on here in like 45 minutes and whatnot. And obviously the state of the NBA overall is worse than the NHL. But there's definitely, some players that, are going to have intriguing matchups. Like, even if you don't give a shit about the NBA, just to see what Luka does. Like, there's only going to be a few moments like that in an entire season. When you have something where you have a superstar trade, they play their old team. Might not give a shit about the Mavs or the Lakers in general, but, if there's nothing else on, people are going to tune in, and then eventually it'll be on your social media reels. It'll be on Instagram or Twitter/X or Facebook. So eventually you're going to see, some highlights of some sort or another if you're on social media. So why not, watch a little bit of it and see what happens. Two on two. Jeez Louise. It's in LA and Anthony Davis isn't playing. If it was in Dallas, it would be spicier, right? Because then again, Anthony Davis is healthy, even though he's not, and it's a spicy matchup playing in that building again. But being obviously at the Forum there, I would assume LeBron will be playing as well. LeBron could definitely, try to give a few more looks, but I would assume Luka will have a very good chance for a triple-double tonight. I think that wouldn't be too crazy to think. And if he doesn't get a triple-double, he could definitely get, 20, 30, 40, 50 tonight. It could be a pretty high number and, could still end up having, 5 assists, 5 rebounds minimum, and maybe a little bit more. We'll see. I mean, he doesn't really play defense, but And then another goal, 5-0. What am I watching? What the hell is going on here? Decord looking like Grubauer. Holy moly. What the hell do they eat for breakfast, Sarah? Fowler with a goal. Man, Kraken. Oh, thank you, man. And I know before you're like, why don't you just make them yourself, right? But again, it wasn't as easy, as everyone thinks. Like, again, I ended up having to, pay someone for a few months, to get them done because I couldn't, I didn't have the, and it's not like, oh, just do a tutorial on YouTube. That can get you to a certain point, but, some people are going to learn differently and be hands-on, and, you just kind of have to experiment and really when we have the World Baseball Classic and they unfairly, suspended me, that gave me an opportunity to still stream, like on Twitter/X, but also to dive in deep and figure how to fucking do this, and, I had to do a lot of experimenting and, I had to, trial and error, find the right angles, try to understand what's going to look the best and kind of show my personality. And, it took a while, to be able to get to that point. But I feel, I feel it's been pretty mastered now for quite some time. And, it's an exciting thing for me because it kind of shows my personality, and then you want to have a signature look. So that way, every time when people look at your stuff, they, it doesn't look different all the time. So, just having like the live play-by-play and reactions and that kind of highlighted, chromed out kind of brighter look at the bottom and, doing the player images and, I can always play around with the logos and with the team player, which I did kind of the year before, but I kind of like having the big team logo in the back, and then having the player image, in front of it. I think it looks very clean and original. And and again, it's a cool way to kind of show my personality, but they take a lot of work, man. If I can do one quick, even the quickest ones take at least 30 minutes. If that's everything loads properly and I, can get the angles right and everything is good. But sometimes they take an hour plus, and I have to go through many, versions, save it A. Oh, that doesn't look good. Okay, save it B. And then I have to go through A, B, C, D and label that file until it gets all the way to like F or G sometimes. And then I'm like, okay, perfect. Because I have to try to make it look clean. You know what's not clean? The Kraken right now. 5-0 Blues. Golly. But I appreciate that. That means a lot. And again, I don't have to pay anyone for the rest of my life, but it was a good tool to kind of learn on, like I never got taught anything from him, when I ended up purchasing, like based on what he used or, how to look things up or how to format things, how to use this tool or this tool. It's pretty much I had to just look at the ones that I bought and then, see how he did them and see if I could recreate that somehow. And by trial and error. And then eventually I got to his level. And, it took a while, but I'm happy with him and I appreciate the kind words. Now, I wish I had some kind words for the Kraken right now, but golly, 5-0, this is embarrassing. I mean, I want to do more, Kraken games, man. This is not good for my mental health. 5-0? And I know the NBA overall fucking sucks. They don't try, they don't have passion, they don't have pride, but again, not every matchup for the Kraken is going to have the intensity of the Four Nations face-off, unfortunately. Some games are going to be good. Some games are going to be bad. But, man, 5-0? I don't know if anyone anticipated this. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to lose, let's make it close like we did, when we played early on and we lost 3-2. That's what I was hoping for, another 3-2 game. Not this shellacking that, what are you guys pacing for? 10-0? I mean, Jesus. What was more fun to watch, Magic and Kareem or Kobe and Shaq? That's a good question. And I am in the age range where I actually did get a chance to watch Kareem for a few years, but you have to think I watched him at the very back end of his career, because when he ended up retiring around the late 80s and, we're getting into the 90s, but kind of, around that 1988, 89, 90 era, he was still very dominant. And Magic Johnson and Larry Bird are still doing things, in their time era, passing wise, that I still haven't seen replicated to this day. So, Magic and Kareem were unstoppable. Magic could play the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. I've never seen anybody have the style and charisma as Magic. He could score, he could rebound, he could assist. But the coolest thing about Magic and Bird to me was the ability for them to pass like they played in and one. Like, the passing highlight reels for those guys, and to be able to have the basketball IQ and to be fancy with it. I mean, Larry just looks like, some kind of farmer. He doesn't even look like a basketball player, right? But he could do things that the brothers could do, and sometimes even better. Like, he was amazing. He looked like this tall, lanky, this Caucasian tall guy that might be able to shoot the basketball, but other than that, that's probably it. And then all of a sudden, Larry would show you some athleticism that you had no idea seeing. And then obviously in the Shaq and Kobe era, watching that whole complete era, Kobe is the closest thing to Michael Jordan, period. Shaq was the most dominant center maybe ever to live, unless we're going back to like Wilt Chamberlain, but it's not like any of us watched him, right? But as far as like modern day from the 80s until now, Shaq was the most dominant, is based off his size and power out of any center that we've seen, whether that be at LSU, going into Orlando, and then many, many teams, including the Lakers after. 6-0 Blues. Holy cow, what the hell is going on here? There's a reason why I don't do as many of these, but this is definitely the worst outing out of any Kraken stream that we've done so far. Golly, 6-0? Jeez. But I appreciate that. We're at 7, 93 to go. As soon as I sold the Jordan rookie, and I started the channel on the YouTube side, the iMac that I have still, the speakers that I have down below, both the microphones, lighting, all of that, like pretty much everything was spent, pretty much on the day that, I had to try to make this dream become a reality. So I don't know. I mean, Kobe and Shaq were just so dominant, the power, with Shaq, and no one could, Hack-a-Shaq was born. Kobe was just so meticulous, closest thing to Jordan that you'll ever see. And then obviously Magic and Kareem kind of did it with a little bit more flair and pizzazz, but both were equally dominant in their eras. And, that's a lot of legacy right there, with Magic and Kareem and Kobe and Shaq. I mean, we're talking about 4 of the top, 12 to ever play the game in the team's history in the NBA, all together. Like, there's only a few other names you can add to those 4 that would be like in the top 10, top 12 ever, right? $6-0 Kraken. Unbelievable. And that last one was by Neighbors. They literally got a goal with 6 different players. Get the fuck out of here. Kairu, Sundquist, Thomas, Bodog, Fowler, Neighbors. There's going on a scoring party here, huh? Golly. Yeah, but I mean, it goes way, way back, and with Magic too, having James Worthy and, Minneapolis Lakers, like, George Mikan. If you go back, I mean, the Lakers and the Celtics had ridiculous Hall of Famers, for years and years and years and years. And then you got to be able to see like the Bad Boys and then the Jordan Bulls and, the Spurs kind of emerge. So we've seen a few teams be able to have some legacies. This is insane. I've never seen the Kraken lose by this, differential, let alone we still got 7 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go in the second. I mean, what are we pacing for a 12-0? Like, it's like a football score, a baseball score. What the hell is going on here? I mean, they're pacing for over 10. Yeah, belt to ass, man. But again, I tried to make people happy. I try to, do some Kraken for Megan, do some blues for Sarah. So, again, depending on if like, the Ducks or the Bucks or the Blazers, or the Mariners, if they're not playing, then again, I have an option to, see what else is out there. What's going to be the, maybe more of an entertaining event. I mean, this might be entertaining for Sarah, but for Kraken fans, this is a nightmare. I mean, we already know we're one of the worst teams in the NHL, bottom 10, but I mean, golly, we don't want to play like we're the worst team in the NHL. Jesus. Hopefully we can get on the board with at least a pity goal before the game ends. But this is embarrassing. Hopefully it'll be better in a few days on Saturday. But they got a pretty tough schedule and a lot of tough opponents. Yeah, Coco is in. Coco and Bennington after you had 5-6 goals given up. They're not going to keep letting Joey Decord bleed out. Got to have some kind of confidence left at the end of the day. So they do have Coco is in. Yeah, if you go to ESPN.com and you go to the Kraken game, it updates the line as well as who's in net in live play. Plus, I can see on the screen too. So, but I always go based on what they have on ESPN linked to the game, especially with the line shifts. I can see sometimes on screen, but sometimes they don't have it. Sometimes you can look at players, but to really get the accurate information, it's best to go to NHL.com or like ESPN.com with the game. But yeah, he is in though, so we'll see. We'll see how he does. And it looks like he ended up giving up the last goal, so he was in there for a little bit. He was actually in for the neighbor's goal. So when we were down 5-0 and Fowler made it, then they made the adjustment. Then Coco came in, and then Neighbors actually got the goal on him, it says, based on what I'm reading. So we'll see. Oubre and Maxi, nice. Larson, McCann, Dunn, Tanev, Wright. I mean, who's going to be the individual that at least gets us off the donut? Is it going to be Shane Wright? It has to be somebody. I mean, at this point, we're pacing to lose 9-0 or 10-0, depending on if they get another goal here in the second. But this is just crazy. 2 goals in the first period, 4 goals in the second period. Nothing for Seattle yet. That's tough. 6 different Blues players have scored. Jordan, Oscar, Robert, Zach, Cam, and Jake. Blazers versus Philly. Nice. Yeah, I go with my best friend Justin once or twice a year. He usually will buy like a 10-game package, and then he'll go with his dad or with me or with one of his other high school buddies from back in the day. And then usually we make a day of it, like going to the arcade or go to, go get donuts after, or try to find what's available, when we're down there, because we try to maximize the trip while we're down there. Nice. Yeah, last night 13, just got one, 12. That'll be exciting. And as soon as that happens, all Ovi's rookie cards are already worth a shitload. But once he breaks that record, then there'll be another spike on his cards, especially his rookie cards that are graded and autoed. Or if they have the jersey patch in there, you got something that's worth 500, it might go and double. Or depending on the card or how many options that are in the card. But there's definitely going to be a spike in his memorabilia once that record is broken. I mean, anything that you can break of Wayne Gretzky, like, and that puts you in that different level of superstardom, etching the books, especially coming in at the same time as Crosby. Like, yeah, Crosby and Obi stuff is worth a lot. Wish I would have kind of, even though I'm not really into hockey cards, I should have invested in one Crosby and one Ovi and just put it away. Just paid the money, put it away, wait for it to go up and whatnot. But I never did. But I should have. But I knew that, they had a really good chance, to be Hall of Fame players based off all the hype back then. And, it seemed like they, we're both going to pan out. They both had different styles, but it kind of felt like, yeah, these guys are good enough to, lead their teams to a Stanley Cup one day, it seemed, and maybe even more than one. And, maybe even be the best player in the NHL at one point for both of them. So it's going to be sad when they're out of the league. Same thing with like LeBron and a few of the OGs. Like, the league is going to feel weird after LeBron is not in it, whether you love him or hate him. Like, just not having one of the best players there anymore to either watch or to go root against. Definitely going to be a weird transition here in the next couple years. Ebbs, Larson, Burakovsky, Dunn, and Beniers. Less than 3 minutes to go. Blues up 6-0 on the Kraken. Come on, Seattle. Shen, Holloway, Fowler, Kyrou. Ebbs, Larson, Burakovsky, Dunn, and Beniers. Come on, baby. Someone stop the bleeding. We need just one. Just give me one. And then one could maybe turn into two before the game's over. I mean, obviously, this one is already in the books. Belt to ass. But, I still think that they can score one or two. Hopefully, it'll be like Maddie or Shane Wright. Someone that can get into a little bit of a groove. Yeah, there'll be some hype for those cards for sure. The Travis Hunters are probably going to be super coveted, though. Just kind of sometimes it's just based off the swagger of the player and whatnot. And I'm excited about this draft. And there is a possibility, that we get quarterbacks right off the top. But, if they ended up going with like Abdul Carter at the top, that is a safe pick, like kind of like a Javon Curse. Yeah, there might be other quarterbacks that pan out, but again, the quarterback class is pretty weak. So if you're not sure, then you take the best player that you think, overall. And if that's not one of the quarterbacks and you want to go for maybe the best defensive player in the draft, that's not really dumb. The Titans, it's like if you want to be able to be good in that division, it's not the most dominant, but again, you have to kind of rebuild it and blow it up. You don't have Tannehill, Derrick Henry, or AJ Brown. You got to rebuild it from scratch. But I mean, if they're not sold on like a Cam Ward, then definitely not Shedeur Sanders going number one overall. No way in hell, but going for the best player maybe overall, that could be smart. Got a minute 50 to go. Down by just a mere 6. Passing superb. Shen, Neighbors, Kyrou, Falk, and Holloway. Look at that. Everyone's got an assist or a goal or multiple stats. Oh. trying to remember, even from a couple years ago when we started doing Kraken streams, I don't think I've ever seen a matchup where we were down by this much with 0. I remember seeing some that we were at like 4, but I don't think I've ever seen one at 6. Got to find a way to stop this bleeding. Ebbs, Larson, Burakovsky, Dunn, and Beniers. Shen, Holloway, Branko, Fowler, and Kyrou for the Blues. Less than a minute to go. Oh, good defense there. Coco with the save. So odd that we have a Kako and a Coco. End of the second period. The bleeding stops temporarily. 6-0 Blues. Yeah, I mean, Genty will probably be meeting with almost every team. It's like you can either draft a guy like that if you have no running backs, or you could try to build something like they have in Detroit where you have Montgomery and Gibbs. So it's like even if you had Jonathan Taylor, but if you could run an effective offense with Taylor and Genty, if Genty was the change of pace back, but like a good one, or like how I did it with like Rashad White and Bucky Irving, you can have 2. Someone's going to get left out at some point or another. And if, your main running back gets hurt a lot, then that's good insurance that if Taylor went down and, Genty could just step in there and get 20, 30 carries and you don't lose a beat or a step. But there's probably going to be another team that will draft him. I mean, I think anyone would be, anyone would love to be able to have him on the roster. They're just doing the replay of all the goals. This is just brutal. One goal after the next after the highlight reel. Cue to the fans in the crowd. But at least the Mariners won today against the Dodgers. So Mariners are kicking ass and taking names, scoring a lot of runs. Yeah, I know it's spring training, but still, fuck it. 11-5 on the Dodgers. Ridiculous. All right, I got to look at the stats here real quick. Oh, yeah, and especially, when Mitch Garver hits a home run. Oh, yeah, life is good, considering all his struggles from last year. Crazy. And they're going through a lot of options in the bullpen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the starting pitcher, which was Castillo. Like it. 4 runs in the second, 1 run in the third, 6 runs in the seventh. 11-5 over the Dodgers. Let's go. And hopefully, someone will be able to, keep that, heat level strong when we go to the regular season. Like Jared Kelenic was that guy a couple of years ago. We'll see how he does with the Braves this year, but I'm, hoping Julio will go back to being the all-star Julio. He'll be in the all-star game. Hopefully Cal will get the recognition that he deserves. Pitching staff amazing. Bullpen looks like it could be healthy with Santos and Brash and everyone else that we need to dominate. Andres Munoz. Outfield is elite. Robles, Rosarina, and Julio. You could argue that's one of the best outfields overall in the entire MLB, player for player. It's true. But again, first, second, third, and shortstop, that's a concern. And man, that's a lot of spots. So hopefully, we'll figure it out, whether it's, Luke Raley and Locklear. Like first base, I'm not really worried about as much, but it's like second, short, and third. And it's like, yeah, you got Polanco playing third, normally doesn't play that spot. I don't know about that. He was kind of shitty last year. And then, JP Crawford isn't the leadoff guy anymore, so that might be a little bit of an ego hit. And to go from the leadoff hitter and one of the faces of the franchise to being like the 9 hitter, you have to be really strong-minded and mentally tough, but also understand that you can still be a threat and help us win, But to go from being a 1 hitter to a 9-hole hitter, that's a big demotion. But again, Victor Robles has earned the leadoff spot. He's a better player than JP Crawford. And then I want to be able to see, Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montez, Harry Ford. I want to see these rookies come up this year. And, Harry Ford can DH. Lazaro Montez at some point could fill in the outfield for someone if we have an injury, or DH. And then obviously Cole Young and Colt Emerson can play like second or short if something happens with JP, or, Dylan Moore isn't good enough to be that guy all year. So again, it's cool that these guys are getting a chance, but I mean, if the Mariners want to be good, we got to get someone better than Polo at third. And I'm definitely excited for some of these young guys that come up. But Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montez, Harry Ford. You're going to hear me say those 4 names, and we have another 4 on top of those 4 that are coming up. We got the number 1 farm system, so we'll see how that plays out since the Mariners don't spend any money. But I'm hoping for 90 wins, and I'm hoping we go 90-72. And we can find a way to win the American League West over the Rangers and the Astros barely. And if we don't win it, then hopefully we get to 88 or 89 wins, and then we're second place. Because if you get any less than that, you're probably not making it. And, we'll see what teams get over 100, Dodgers and, whoever else. But hopefully they can turn that ship around. But there's still going to be excitement. I mean, I'm excited for the MLB season, so. Oh, yeah, Cal's under contract still, and he arguably is the best catcher in baseball. Hitting-wise, clutch-wise, defensively, and leadership. And the only thing that could be better for him is his, batting average could go from, instead of being around 200 to 220, if he can get it from that to 240 to 300, then there's no arguing. Really, that's the only argument if you, want someone else or think someone else is better. There's going to be other popular names. But again, if the Mariners go to the playoffs a couple of years and we go on a deep run, then all of these casuals will be like, ooh, big dumper. He is good, and then he'll get the recognition that he deserves. But it was funny, like going into the All-Star, game halfway through the season, right? They had the ballots and Cal wasn't even in like the top 10, which was just like disgraceful. And then at the end of the year, right, where Cal got snubbed in the All-Star game as an alternate, right, at the end of the year, they did a vote, and guess who ended up being the number 1 catcher in baseball at the end of the year? Cal Raleigh. And they didn't even have him as a top 10 catcher. There's only 30 fucking teams. You don't think he's that, like, is anyone watching film? Like, are they watching the games? Apparently not. But the problem is that if we already gave Julio that big money, 3, 4, 500 million, we're going to have to give that to Cal. And he's got one of those like really aggressive agents as well. So if the Mariners are dumb, which sometimes they are, they could keep Harry Ford, the up-and-coming prospect who plays catcher, who's kind of like Buster Posey. He's not a home run guy. He's more of like a singles guy, but he can play defense and he's fast, right? And then all of a sudden the Yankees are like, oh, big dumper, come. And then all of a sudden Cal Raleigh's on the Yankees, and they pay him 3, 4, 500 million or whatnot. And maybe that's one of the pieces that helps them win with Judge finally. But I'm hoping that Cal ends up being a Mariner for life. He's the best player on the team, in my opinion, even with our elite pitching staff, even over the most popular player in Julio, but again, it's like, when Julio's out, we can still win. But when Cal's out, especially with all the things that he does that affects the game, like Julio is obviously always going to be my dog, and I'm going to criticize him when he needs to be criticized. I'm going to root for him when he needs to be rooted for. I'm always going to hope that he gets better and better. But if you're looking at so many different factors, Cal, I mean, you have to understand, if Cal Raleigh wasn't our catcher, imagine if Mitch Garver was our catcher, like every day. Not only are you not getting hits typically, but he's not going to be able to be good defensively, and he's not going to be able to motivate our pitchers. So our starting five that is ranked top 5 would probably be top 15 if you had a Mitch Garver. But since you have a Cal Raleigh, to be able to show the leadership and to call a good game and to get everyone up to that, swag level, then those guys are arguably one of the best starting 5 in the entire MLB. They're ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 collectively as a group. And I don't think Cal gets enough of that credit. He's a coach, on top of being an elite catcher. Facts. All right, I'm going to go get Paisley dinner here real quick. Dale Jr. I love me some Dale Jr. Oh, Cal is worth it. I mean, again, Cal can get, 350, 400, 500 million. I mean, of course, it's not going to be like Shohei Ohtani, like, something like that. But, as far as catchers are concerned, whatever the highest catcher is getting, like Cal could break that. Like he's, and again, if the Mariners are dumb, I guarantee the Yankees or someone smart is going to be like, ooh, yes. And then all of a sudden they go from being, good to, oh, maybe this is what we needed, this piece and a couple others. And then boom, we win it all. So, but I'm praying that Cal stays forever because that's my guy. All right, Lakers and Mavs about to come on here. Oh, car. Now JT, he's like, I'm turning this into eBay. Offer up. He's like, I need money for eggs. I'm selling all my shit. I mean, if I was like rich, I would definitely take that off your hands and whatnot. I mean, I love me some Dale and Dale Jr. But unfortunately, your boy ain't rich. So anything that I ever want to, get for myself pretty much just goes towards bills and taking care of Paisley. So, Obey! He's like, I got to get a percentage. No, I don't mind, my brother. You're always good in my book. Yeah, but I got like Dale Jr., Dale Sr., mini Coke machines. It's like metal. It opens up and then there's a car inside. And that was back, in like 1998, 99. Remember like the Polar Bear commercials with Coca-Cola in the late 90s? And then they had like those machines, and Coke sponsored them, even though, we know Dale Jr. for Budweiser and Dale Earnhardt for the Good Wrench, the three with the car parts and whatnot. But I remember, being at a card shop back in the day, and I'm like, oh my God, because I like unusual, weird things like that. And then when I first saw that it was a mini Coke machine, and I was like, cool, even the buttons are raised a little bit. So it actually is like, it feels like a mini machine, right? And then it opens up, and then it's got like the Hot Wheel car of them, from that particular season. That little tins like that. I love shit like that. Like I love the unorthodox, unusual, weird stuff, but it's like so weird, it's awesome. And like nobody's gonna really have that, or it's gonna be like not many people, are gonna have it. And I mean, I got a little bit of everything. Like I'm looking over right now. I got those. I got a WCW sealed figure with NWO Macho Man and NWO Hollywood Hogan with the belt. I got a Japanese Stone Cold that's got 4 heads, 4 to 6 hands, beer cans, beer, all kinds of posable amazingness. Ken Griffey Jr. starting lineup. Ken Griffey Jr., McFarlane, Jerry Rice, Chase McFarlane from the Niners. All kinds of starting lineups. Darth Maul, Skeletor, my old Legos and Micro Machines. I got some 1978, 79, 80, 81, 82 Hot Wheels. Little Mariners hard hat from when I was like 7. Little duck helmet. And then all my Griffey shrine. Griffey photos, Griffey autos, Griffey old school posters from my childhood. Like I'm so like, I'm such a like, I took a lot of discipline, for me not to like open up stuff. But you guys remember when we used to have like the Scholastic book fairs and how dope those were back in the day? Like the Scholastic book fair, I would fucking like make an excuse that I had to go to the office for like health reasons or bathroom, and I would like go before everyone else, so that way I could like swoop up like all the good shit. I'm like, I'm looking at the fucking Goosebumps before anybody else. I'm looking at Choose Your Own Adventure, and I always looked to see if they had sport posters. And believe it or not, like I had like a Jerry Rice sealed, a Portland Trailblazer one with Terry and Buck and Jerome and Clyde and Kevin Duckworth and Cliff Robinson. And honestly, like to this day, I have a Blazer poster from back when I was like 7 or 8, still sealed from the Scholastic Book Fair. And I went on eBay to look to see, what it was worth, because I looked to see, they don't even have it on there. So it's probably like $100 to $200 poster. Some old school posters will go for $25 to $50. But if it's super rare and super old, you can get a couple hundred, $100 to $200 for it. Mine's fucking still in the plastic from the goddamn Scholastic Book Fair back from 1990 or 91 or 92. It's just crazy, dude. But I miss those. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Ooh, nice. My dad's mom, before she passed away, ended up passing down one of those old school original G.I. Joes, maybe from like the 50s, 60s. And it's like the big one. It's not like a little small action figure that we had in the 80s and 90s that came with all the accessories. These ones were almost as big as like a big doll, right? And the clothes and the arms, it was, a pretty good size, right? And then it had some accessories with it, but not like the ones that came out in the 80s and 90s. In my opinion, those are elite. There's a reason why 80s toys are worth the most, because they were the most dope. Turtles, Transformers, you're going, He-Man, Ghostbusters. Like there's a reason why, Star Wars toys and G.I. Joes and Turtles and Transformers, He-Man, Skeletor, Masters of the Universe, Ghostbusters. Like there's a reason why 80s toys are so fucking rare and so valuable, because a lot of us, we, didn't leave them sealed. And those were so amazing back then. And unless you were one of those amazing people that had parents that bought you 2, and then you played with one, and then the other one got put in a plastic, container for when you turned into an adult. And then those people are super rich now. It pays to be a nerd. Yeah. Even some of the Transformer toys that I have from like, Dark Side of the Moon and some of the older Transformer movies, Sam Witwicky, right? You know what I'm talking about? Even in those, I would go to Toys R Us and pick up some of Megatron or Optimus Prime, and those will still go for some pretty good money, $20 and up, depending on what your box looks like. Obviously box condition is everything. So Scholastic Book Fair, and bro, I feel based on my age, I can definitely give you the memories if you're 40 to 60 years old, but also on the flip side, the 20 to 40 side, but again, if you're in that 35 to 55 range, that Scholastic Book Fair, my goodness, man. And I still got it. And they used to have sports little books, but they were mini. Do you remember those? They had mini ones. It's like, ooh, Michael Jordan. And it had a green cover, and it had them in their uniform. And then you opened it up, and then there would be illustrations, and there's facts on points per game and all that. But it was a cool little flip through book, and they made each player. They did basketball, baseball, football, hockey, and then they also had the Scholastic Book Fair books you could buy. Of course, I bought the Jordan, the Shaquille O'Neal, anything that was, oh yeah, buy that. I was all over that. But I think the thing that was the most rare and valuable was the posters. And most people didn't buy the posters; they bought the books. Right? They're going after the Goosebumps. They're going after the, Choose Your Own Adventure. They're trying to sneak into the computer lab and play Oregon Trail. I'm in there already. Come on in. I got the computer set up. Commodore 64. Hop on. Now, that was some good fucking memories. You want to trigger a memory that's good. Sometimes we all go through bad things and whatnot. But man, those were some good old days. Let me tell you. I feel bad for the people that are too old or too young, that will not get that reference. But for the ones that, are watching in the future or in the room now, man, what a day. What a day to be alive. Oh, and another goal. 7-0 Blues. Doesn't stop, can't stop, won't stop. Is this real? I've done a lot of Kraken games. I've done more Blazers and more Ducks, but I've done enough Kraken games where, man, this is Mo Duck with 2 goals now. Now you have so many people get goals, 6 different guys. Finally, someone had to get 2, and it was Zach. This is something else. But it's always good that, we can always touch on, Luca, collecting, Scholastic Book Fair. Telling y'all, some of that stuff is worth some pretty good money now too, considering they're bringing back a lot of that stuff, a variation of Goosebumps. You've seen the David Schwimmer with the show. They still make newer versions. Never going to be as cool as those old school ones that we had, right? The Choose Your Own Adventure. That shit is undefeated. Guinness Book of World Records. I was all over that. I would always go to the library and rent those, and then everyone was like, oh, got to get the Where's Waldo, or you got to get the Guinness Book of World Records if you make it to the library first. And then if you were lucky enough, and if you had money, that maybe at one point or another, maybe you got a Guinness Book of World Records. But back when I was a kid, that was the book to have, because everyone else got bored of their shit. And then all of a sudden, if you got to read for 30 minutes, right, it's you can't even get through barely any part. It's you can flip forward. You get so many fucking fun facts. It was the best way to educate yourself and also be oh my God, because they had detailed pictures of, I remember being super young and they had, what did they have? Longest hair, longest nails, the tallest man, the shortest man, and just going through those random things, right? And while everyone else is just, not getting into whatever they got, and, everyone's looking over at you, be like, dude, pass that book over, right? You're like, dude, trade. You're like, no. 7-0 Blues. Ooh. That is cool. Odin just sent me a photo of a custom New Jack figure. I have to respond. That is awesome. You don't see stuff like that often. Same thing like this. You don't see this that often. 7-0 Blues. They're pacing for 9 or possibly 10, but you have to think at some point we have to get at least one, right? Larson, Bjorkstrand, Dunn, Stevens, and Tolvanen for the Kraken. Letty, Thomas, Neighbors, Suter, and Bennington still in net, doing a fantastic job. 20 attempts, 20 saves. And obviously we have our backup in now. Coco. We got a Kako and we got a Coco. But that ain't helping us. And I feel bad for Decord, man. Decord, he's not as bad as that to give up 5 goals. I mean, it happens once in a while. I mean, when Gru was struggling, it was happening pretty often, 3, 4, 5 or more. But it's like you don't want to see your number one get roughed up like that often. You don't want his confidence to get shaken. It's already a young team, and we have a lot of room to grow. And when you're a bottom 10 team in any sport, whether it's a youth movement or not, it takes time to build something special. So hopefully they will. But I mean, I do like all of the new additions. I can't really say any of the new additions. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we got that player, or why did we spend the money here? Like, I think most Kraken fans are like, they like the roster. This roster is a hell of a lot better than it was last year, and you got more guys to get excited about. Not that there weren't enough necessarily last year, but they didn't really play up to their potential for like our top 3 or 4 guys. It kind of was like an underwhelming, season overall. But now you got some really good studs from like teams that, you've either won a Stanley Cup recently or within the last few years. So we have some like former champions. So when you have champions, in the locker room, even though you're young, you're going to be able to hear from them, and hopefully that greatness will rub off, and then you can get better as a team. But, sometimes it's a slow process. 7-0 slow, but, we'll see how it goes. They got like 3 days off and they play on Saturday. So hopefully they'll, rest up and be better than this. Habs, Larson, Dunn, Stevenson, Burakovsky. (14-12), 26-21. Penalty minutes 4-2 for Seattle. Face-off percentage too, not enough. I mean, if they're going to be getting 60% of the face-offs, that's another. It's like face-offs, power plays. And, when most teams get a power play, they're like, "Oh, we're scoring." When Seattle gets a power play, like, yeah, we get scores, but definitely not as often as everyone else. It feels like. But you got to give the Blues credit. Their defense was smothering, so it's like they're getting all of this offense, but again, the defense, very, very elite tonight. Like, we never could really get any momentum going. I mean, hell, we had a hard time even getting more than 1 to 2 passes to each other before it was stolen or poked away, literally, like the whole first period. Like, how are you supposed to compete or catch up or be competitive when you can only make like 1 pass or 2, and you might not even be halfway over. You might be, in your own zone. That's not a good recipe for success there. But hopefully it'll get better. We still got a few minutes here in the third. There we go. Bang! My guy. There we go. It's done. The sports gods are like, oh, we made him suffer too much. Let's get him one. He talked about the fucking Scholastic Book Fair. He threw out Choose Your Own Adventure and Goosebumps. Let's get him one. Thank you so much. Vince, done. Fuck yeah. We'll take it. Anything's better than a fucking 0. There we go. Nice job, Vince. Let's go, baby. Odin, the New Jack is dope. All right. Luca's coming on here. I gotta double dip if I'm gonna be working and I have an opportunity to, okay. I'm gonna turn this on, turn this down. All right, Luca. Show me a triple double or something special, damn it. 7-1 Blues. Alexiak, Mahura, Beniers, Kako, Schwartz. Bennington is like, I guess I'll let him have one. Nice job, Vince. I just feel like the Scholastic Book Fair made it exciting, to like want to read and see what options were there. There was just so much kind of different types of material, for all kinds of people and whatnot. But I don't think a lot of people have a lot of that stuff from that time period, like new. Obviously some people still have like their, books still and whatnot. Lakers in fourth, 34-21, but Thunder, Nuggets, Celtics, Cavs. Those are the four best teams in the NBA, but they may not be the teams that make it to the West and Eastern final, but those look like the teams that actually play defense and rebound and care about the game. Not to say that some of the others that have shittier records don't, but there's not very many that are going to have that discipline to defend and rebound and really work on that side of the ball every night. And that's why those teams are dangerous. You know who's dangerous? The Blues. And Seattle has Vince Dunn. Now we just need 6 more, right? 6 more in 13 minutes. Easy. We just need to get a goal for like every 2 minutes the rest of the way out. Boom. 7-7 overtime, win 8-7 in OT. Don't even need a shootout. Oh, 7-1. Gosh. I think it's cool to, to dig in your past. If you guys have like a, closet, you got a basement, garage area where you have some like stuff from the 80s and 90s. Like, it's a good vibe to, if you're already kind of out in that general area, and then you end up finding something that you remember, can't put a price on that. All right, here we go. Schwartz, Montour, Kako, Beniers, they go out. Evans, Stevenson, Burakovsky, Ebbs, and Montour. Come on, baby. Let's get to 2. I said that, about 30 minutes ago. If we can get to 1 or 2 before the game, we're obviously not winning, but, just don't roll over and die. Just keep trying, and hopefully we can get to 2 before this game. Obviously anything above that would be, oh, my God, great. But 2 is like, okay, based on everything that has happened up to this point, like that's going to be probably the best that you're going to get unless you get to 3, but that would be like best case scenario. But I would love for us to get at least 1 more. But how many more do we give up? That is another question, especially when you get someone that's kind of like brand new, in there and already coming in when you're down 5-0. But it's cool to be able to see, like, who number 2 in the rotation is going to be for at least the, for the short term out of play. Oh, that's cool. Appreciate that, brother. Hey, you can, if you want to open up a little like obey, here and, whatnot with the Dale Juniors and whatnot, you're good with me, my guy. Appreciate you. And this will help with, whatever, paying part of the internet or getting, some snacks or a toy for Paisley or helping out on the streaming fee or, whatever it may be. Appreciate that. The JT, no, not the JT, $10 dono. Appreciate that very much, man. I'm just trying to be able to get you guys to reminisce about times that were amazing, and so that way you don't forget. Sometimes you need to be able to go back to the past, to be able to, have those memories, how good it really was. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack, he likes it. Bang, bang. He says, thank you for listening for me talk about random shizzle. Opening up a Obey on the channel. Hey, I got Dale Jr. Don't really like NASCAR. Want to buy it? And normally I would be like, yeah, I will. I bet it looks cool too. But again, if you have no, NASCAR is definitely, a very rare thing. Like, there's fans that do the hockey and then they do the NBA, they do the baseball. But I feel like if you go NASCAR, that's like one level even over those. Like, you have to be like, there's definitely certain things to follow that it's like, it's not going to be for everyone. But you could say the same thing for baseball, basketball, hockey. It isn't for everyone. Wrestling, it ain't for everyone, But for some of us, we like many, 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 you got to keep yourself busy. I like vintage, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff from like the 80s and whatnot. I saw a really cool neat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lamp from 1989, and it has like the base is the turtle, and then it's got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle logo as like, the shade and whatnot. They have kind of one that's white and another one that's kind of a little bit more darker, tannish. I don't know if that's just based off dirt or being old and whatnot, but they had like Michelangelo, and I don't know if they had all four made. I think the thing I saw had Michelangelo and maybe Leonardo, but I was like, oh, like I like shit like that, like random, stuff that, barely anybody has, but it's like kind of a cool collectible. Those are the type of photos that I send to like my best friend, just like to see if he has it or if I have it or if we've never seen it before. Like, oh, look at this. Like, this is kind of neat. Never seen this before, but this would be cool to have in the collection. And then it also will give me an idea that if I end up going somewhere and seeing one, that I'm like, ooh, okay, I've seen this. And then boom, I buy it. Boom shakalaka. All right. We're only down 7-1. 10 minutes to go. McCann, Mahura, Kako, Beniers, Riker Evans. Reflect in the building. What's good? Reflect is in the building. Mr. Stats, Mr. Analytics. Hopefully you're doing good. I took Paisley to get her nails trimmed and dremeled, and I did a self-wash. And some people wash, like with one shampoo. No. I go there, I'm using like 3. If I'm going to be paying, like $35, $40, even if I give them a couple dollar tip, I got to make sure I'm using all the materials to make sure Paisley's happy. So that was what happened with me, and Kraken just getting fucking obliterated here, but at least they stopped the bleeding, and Vince done. He done it. He got us on the board. Now we just need 6 more in 10 minutes. I'll be happy with 1 more, if I'm being honest. 2 would be elite and great, just based on how the night has been going. We got Blazers and the Wizards tomorrow at 4. Haven't decided on Thursday yet. Maybe some, whatever the top NBA game is, we do that because the Blazers are off, and I don't think the Kraken are not playing. Friday, it'll be Blazers and Nets. And then Saturday, WWE Elimination Chamber. And then Sunday, some NASCAR Cup Series. So what's going on in Northwest Sports? What's going on with UW? Have you been watching UW men's basketball? Anything new for the Seahawks? Anything new on anything that you follow? I'm trying to get some information here. It's like if you read an article of something I didn't read, I need to get up to speed. Coco, we got the backup goalie in there. So we had Joey Decord start. He got roughed up for 5 goals. And we brought in Coco. We have a Kako and a Coco, separated by just one letter. I love it. And, he's already getting in there. But again, for someone to come in when you're down 5-0 and you gave up 2, like if that's all he gives up, I'd be like, okay, I wasn't really expecting you to not give up anything the rest of the way and we lose 5-0 or 5-1. But I'm kind of curious to see more, Oh, Blues try to get another goal. Those fans don't like it. Chief in the building. Yeah. But, we were talking about just old school things. Scholastic Book Fair. Choose Your Own Adventure. Goosebumps. All the sports memorabilia. I got an original Blazer poster still sealed from the Scholastic Book Fair, and I've been going on eBay looking to see if I can find it, and I've never been able to find it. Like, does it exist? Am I the only one that's got this thing? I might have myself like $100 to $200 poster on my hands. Like, you know what kind of discipline it takes to love the Blazers with Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, Kevin Duckworth, and Uncle Cliff Robinson, and not to open it, still sealed? But I guess it depends on if you're a collector. Like, I know Megan is, I am. And sometimes if you're a collector of any kind, and I know some of y'all probably are too with some things, it's like, do you have the insight to like keep something or keep it in good condition when you're young? And if you ever had, those things now, or if you don't have them, you remember them, you wish you still had them. Everyone wishes to still have like their old school toys or things that they grew up with that, either got sold or thrown out or lost. But if you have some of that stuff, man, that's some good memories. Yeah, I love choose your own adventure, man. Like when before pre-phones, where you actually had to use your imagination. And it was written so well with cool pictures that you actually felt that you were choosing your own adventure. They knew what they were doing. 7-1 Blues over the Kraken. Tanev, Wright, Evans, McCann, and Montour. I like this line. Let's see if we can get to 2. Hulk, Sundquist, Broberg, Mulduck, and Joseph. Bennington in net from the Four Nations face-off. And Coco. I'm in love with the Coco. We got our new goalie in there. Chief in the building. Coco. A Kako and a Coco. And hopefully one day we'll have a Bennington of our own. But we'll be doing Blazers tomorrow. Games are on the East Coast, so they're going to be early. So it'll be like 4 o'clock my time. Yeah, and I just found like some old school Blazer glasses. My best friend is always like kept up with the Blazers, even when they were getting blown out by 50. So I was like, fucking A, man, let me go dig through like my Blazer stuff. Like, let's display it. Let me look at it. And, they had famous Dairy Queen Blazer glasses that a lot of locals here had, from 90 to like 93. And I do have a set of those from the 92 year that we played Jordan and the Bulls. And they're doing their glass is an animated version of them on the glass. It's a high-end glass, and they're doing like an alternate thing. So Clyde Drexler is playing tennis. Kevin Duckworth has a fishing vest, and he's got a fishing pole. So like each one is like doing another alternative thing that they like to do. Kind of creative and cool. The only year they did it like that. So I got the full set of those. Porter, Drexler, Kersey, Williams, Duck, and Cliffy. And then also a Sunshine Pizza, Clyde Drexler's rookie year, and like the only thing that he's on, and it's like Sunshine Pizza doesn't exist anymore. And I got the beer pitcher, glass, and the full set of the 6 classes of the whole 83 team. And I actually looked up to see how good they were that year. They actually were pretty good. They made the playoffs that year. But Clyde with an afro, 1983-84, and it just got like the image of their face, and it's 2 of them on each glass, and it's a decent size. It doesn't show like their midsection or body, but just to have it paired up with beer company, pizza company. I love gas companies. Like you get stuff that's linked with like Texaco or Shell. I always like memorabilia that will be linked with another company. Like if I see old school Mariner stuff and it's like through Shell, I'm like, ooh, what does it look like? Like I like seeing stuff like boom, and there it is. The sports god said, hey, oh doggy dog, he talked about the Scholastic Book Fair. Boom, 2 goals. There it is. Thank you. A little ESP. Jaden Schwartz, bang, wrister. Capocaco, Adam Larson, boom, 7-2. Sports gods are like, you know what? Did it get did not take that away? They didn't take that away, did they? Don't take it away. Are they going to take it away? Oh, don't do that. Oh, they're probably going to take it away. Oh, come on. Now, how much time do we have left? 7:51. They took it. How dare they? All right. We still got time to get that second goal. Oh, I love that game. That was actually the one that we should have won. If you didn't have the fluke play of the running back rolling over on the back of the other player, his knee doesn't go down. They get an additional 15 to 18 yards to put him in field goal position, and that was the one. That was us. And we were going to win a natty at that point, but we were going to be coming under sanctions with Chip Kelly. There's a reason why he left Oregon, because he didn't want to put us in a position to be sanctioned. And again, when you start getting players like LaMichael James and DeAnthony Thomas, and you've never had players like that really before, people are going to be, every school does it, and now we got NIL, and, there's always boosters. And I mean, there's always going to be a rich person that if they want to get the benefits to a player, it'll be up to the player to either say yes or no, and again, that's been happening for, as long as, ball has been around. And the goal stands. Boom! We got it back. We got it back. We got it back. There we go. Now we might be able to get it to 3, baby. We have 7:42 left. Try not to give up any more goals. Right, Coco? Do it. Okay, and then if we get one more, it's like, okay, it's everything is about effort in life. Whatever I'm watching, whatever, I just want to see defense and effort. And I feel if you get defense and effort in anything you watch, then you're going to fully enjoy it. But unfortunately, you're not going to get that all the time. But when you see teams give up, you can see it, you can feel it. But when you see teams that are still fighting, you have to just kind of be aware. And it's not just looking at the scoreboard. It's actually seeing body language and how how they're playing. Where are they at mentally? I mean, we got absolutely creamed here, but one more goal would be just like icing on the cake, considering how bad things have been, right? 2 goals for them in the first. Okay. 4 goals in the second. What? And then boom, 2. And then they ended up getting boom, 1, 2, 4, 1. There's going to be a few, but again, rest expectations. If I was a homer for the Ducks, I'd be like, Dylan Gabriel, #1 pick overall. It's like you get these people that are just delusional. It's like, I get it. Like, you love Oregon, you love our team, you love the Ducks and their uniforms, but you have to be able to understand if you've been a fan for a long time. Even Marcus Mariota winning the Heisman, didn't really pan out per se in the NFL. It's like you can be great in college, but you might be injury prone, or it just may not, you may be too small for the game. LaMichael and DeAnthony, even though I thought that there might be a chance that they could play slightly longer, like maybe get a second contract, but Unfortunately, those guys didn't get to play long enough. And, you can be elite in college and just, be average in the NFL. And it kind of is like a shock to some people, I think, to be like the best player at every level, at every school you've ever been in, go to college and just break out and be like one of the best running backs, one of the best running back, wide receivers, special teams guys, LaMichael, D'Anthony, and then go to the NFL and not really dominate in the same way. Like, you had plays where they did, but you don't really remember like any like specific play that either one of them, did, whether that was on the Niners, for LaMichael, or, with D'Anthony on the Chiefs and Ravens. Like those careers were like Niners and it wasn't long enough. Like, and I think most people, it's like you have better memories in the college stuff than you do in the NFL side. But we'll see. They'll be, we got a few. But as of late, the players have been panning out pretty well on the NFL side, but again, recruiting, Uncle Phil, boosters, and popularity, all the different helmet, jersey combos, facilities, school. It's like we might have not won it yet, but it kind of feels like at some point they have a good chance that, we might, and if we do win one, we could end up winning 2 or 3. Like, it kind of feels like that, and that's not a homer statement. It just, if he stays and he continues to recruit at a high level, there's no loyalty anymore in college football for the coaches or the players. They say, fuck it, I'm staying for life. And then they're gone 6 months later. Oh, I love this school. I'm staying here. I'm committed. 4 years. 2 weeks later, I'm transferring. I didn't get enough playing time. You lied to me. I was supposed to start. You benched me, or someone else started. Some of these guys they're fickle. They want to play right away. Even if it's on a shittier team, they just want to be the man. But we got the NFL draft coming up, so we'll be able to see some of our favorite college players on our teams get drafted. Combine coming up, draft coming up. Hold us NFL fans and college football fans over slightly. Getting chippy out there. Larson, McCann, Dunn, Tanev, right? Come on, Shane. Delayed penalty. Oh, Blues shorthanded. 7-2 Blues. We only lost 3-2. And that was back in October. 7-2. Let's get to 3. Come on now. And then we play them again at home to hopefully get revenge and at least win one time this year. And that'll be on April 12th. Did you reflect? Did you end up looking at the box score for the Mariner game against the Dodgers? We're doing, and obviously this is just spring training, and some of this shit does not matter, but some things, could carry over to the regular season, and you get a chance to see a lot of different names and whatnot. But at this point, Mariners are like number 2 in like runs, and we're playing some pretty good productive ball, and obviously there's some horrible pitching. You're going through like 10 pitchers each team, so there's nothing too much you can grab onto with that. But it's a lot better than the Mariners putting up zeros and getting big losses and not actually getting hits or runs at this level. And then you get even more worried if we're putting up zeros and ones and getting our ass kicked all of spring training. Like, what's going to happen when the season starts? Are we going to be 0 for 8 in the first 8 games? Like, you start doubting, even if you have good players. But starting to look pretty pretty kind of uplifting. It's a good thing to see. Not every single individual that's doing good now is going to even be on the team, once we get to the regular season. But I like wins, and I like runs. I like hits. I mean, hell, we were 43-7 at home when we only scored 3 with our pitching staff or more. It takes usually 5 runs or more to win a baseball game. So that shows you how elite. I mean, if we could ever have a team that could fucking hit, like, we could easily get to 90 to 100 wins and be, I'm not saying we're the Dodgers, but again, we could end up making a run at one point, if things could come together. And, we're the only team to not make the World Series. They're going to make one. Just when? Even with the cheap-ass owner. Like, we got enough talent, that even when they fuck up or being cheap, like, we still got enough talent that if everything goes right for one season, we could overachieve and maybe make that, special run. And once you make that run, depending on what you do, you might be able to make it one more time. And then you just got to try to at least win once. Legacy. But that's also, Julio and everyone has to play good. Cal, bring the batting average up. Victor Robles, play like an all-star like you were last year. You're leading off. You're the man. Randy, you can color your hair, but don't let that be the focus. I mean, you have fun out there, but don't be lazy. Don't be giving up on plays and being all nonchalant and shit like last year. Like, we want effort. I don't want to see any errors out there. Errors that could be prevented. We got a couple minutes left. Ebbs, Bjorky, McCann, Montour, and Stevenson. Haven't seen Montour and Stevenson in a minute, it felt like. All right, Seattle power play. Can we take advantage? Who's in for them? Broberg, Sundqvist, Falk, and Joseph. Binnington in net, and obviously full strength. Down by 5. And again, it'd be really easy to be like, fuck it, we did our job. We at least got to 2 now. We didn't get fully embarrassed with the donut, but you get one more in this last 2 minutes. I mean, after just getting obliterated and being down 6-0, that's effort. Good save by Binnington. Ooh, Santos. Matt Brash. Andres Munoz. Our bullpen is fire. It's going to be amazing. And then there's going to be others. You got to think about, like, the guys that we drafted within the last few years. There's going to be, not only the hitters like the Harry Ford, the Cole Young, Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montes, and then the other 4 behind them, right? But then also you're going to get some of these bullpen guys and rookies and pitching, man. At some point, we're not even going to have Castillo at the 5. We'll have better. And then we could have like a specialist for every inning. 6th inning specialist, 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning. And then if guys get hurt, boom, a replacement. Like, have the depth where we're not just like absolutely fucked if one of our guys in the bullpen is out for the year like Brash was. We were never the same without him. We could have at least got at least another 5 to 10 wins if he played with us all year last year. Easy. That's how good he is. 7-2 Blues. Less than a minute to go. Ebbs, Alexiak, Mahura, Tolvanen, Shane Wright, Falk Walker, Joseph, Broberg, Bull Duck, Binnington in net, Coco in net. Blues Saturday Cheers package. A dude and a chick, beers in hand. She's got one on tap. He's got the Bud Light in the can. I think hers is better. Go there. Yeah, I have it here on my alternate screen. Every time I clicked over to it, it was on a commercial. That's why I haven't, it's like every time I'm like, oh, and I'm like peeking, and it's like, oh, commercial. And then commercials just go on forever for the NBA. It's like they try to, it's like you're going fucking back to school, like learning about all these products and things that I don't care about. Ebbs, Alexiak, Mahura, Tolvanen, and Wright. Down to the last 30 seconds here. Kind of feels like it's going to end 7-2, and it does. You just get to a point where you're banging on the boards, and there is some decent passing, but you're like, okay, I'm ready for a beer. I'm ready for dinner. And that is it. 7-2 Blues. All right, now I got to turn on to see what we got here with I'll stay online here for a little bit just to kind of see what we got here with the Luka thing. And then I got to eat dinner and then take Paisley on a walk. But, I mean, this is Luka's first game. It's not in Dallas, which would have been better, but I will stay on for just a little bit with this. And then we can, throw up some photos or anything that you guys want to go over since Reflect just got in the room and whatnot. But, yeah, I'll be, let me see, what are we at, 2 hours and 40 minutes? Yeah, so I'll stay on for probably another like 5 or 10, something like that. So if there's anything that you guys want to see photo-wise, let me know. If not, but I want to make sure we give an opportunity for people that, if you want some photos, you want to go over something. Reflect with a tenor. He's like, I want him to be able to take care of the Paisley pup, pay them internet bills. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack, he likes it. Bang, bang. Thank you. Appreciate you. What would you like to see for a photo? And then we got to flip it up here. And then okay, boom. And now we're in the NBA studio. And we have to go to LA now. Oh, Kareem is there. I knew there was a reason why I wanted to watch this. Oh, boom. And now we just turned into a basketball stream. Technology. Even the throwing the Blazer spinning logo. Hell, it's not even a Blazer game, but I don't care. Oregon, Auburn in 18. I mean, again, I feel like we're going in the right direction, with the program. Every year you're going to have, a different coach, different, type of recruiting class, guys overachieving, underachieving, getting hurt. I'm not really sure if I have one specific thing, that I would say about that particular game, but some games we get blown out, back, when we're trying to establish ourselves, and some we'll put on a pretty good performance. Sometimes we get the epic wins like we do against Wisconsin, like in those Rose Bowls, but we've also got embarrassed in, a few big games too. Oh, big three. Oh, Austin Reeves. Luka's on the bench. He likes it. Lakers 31. 34 now, 25. I was going to say, it would be awesome if Luka was playing. And, of course, when we tune in, what is he? On the bench. Chief Will Chief. What's good? $3 holla. He's like, man, I want to make sure that Paisley can eat and that you can eat. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Everything is expensive. Help your boy out. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. What do you guys want to do for photos? Chief will chief and reflect as I'm watching Luka playing his former team. No Anthony Davis. So obviously the vibe is not the same if you actually get up for some of these games, right? So it's like, it's in LA. That's fine. Laker games are more of kind of like Dallas Cowboy games, except they actually get more wins. It's like you're almost, it's like a concert type of feel. Megan with a 2. Megan with a 2. What photos do the three of you? Let me know. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with the Cactus Jack for 1 and 2. 2 and 4. Appreciate you. and you, and you, and you. Yeah, all the good ones are already, they're, the greats and the elites are working out, the day after the Super Bowl. They're not even taking vacations and, celebrating. It depends on the person's grind and if, how much of a legacy that they want to have. But Jalen's on the perfect team. At some point he can be an elite game manager and they can still win the Super Bowl. But, as you watched, he wasn't the game manager. He took over the game, and that's great for his legacy. Now we need to see it for Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Burrow. Alley-oop from LeBron, splash. Obviously, I would love for Herbert to get one, but realistically, that's not going to happen. But, to get to one and lose, that would be, obviously you'd want, someone like him to win. But if for whatever weird-ass reason Harbaugh got that team good enough and they went, they probably, would lose in the game. Not to say that Herbert would choke or anything, but, I assume the opponent would be elite. But it would be cool, to have someone have some success. But now Bo Nix is there, so he'll be able to have some success for Oregon quarterbacks for me. Corner three, in and out, no good. 38-30, Lakers. LeBron out there, barely moving. He said, give me the ball. I'm LeBron James. Austin Reeves is nice. Got a lot of swagger, a lot of confidence. Nice pass. What a dime and a dunk. Great court vision. Like Dalton Connect, is broken now because they traded him for the Mark Williams trade, and then Mark Williams failed the physical. Now he feels like I'm used, damaged goods, and you don't like me. You didn't even want me. And he was actually one of the best rookies. Like another team should have picked him before the Lakers got him. But now the bond is broken. And now they're probably going to have to trade him at some point. Broken! Matt in the building. We're going to be on here for just a little bit longer. Maybe 14 more minutes to the 3-hour mark so I can get the photos. Can I get you some photos? Let me know what you want for the people that donated. As I'm trying to watch Luka. Where are you? Doncic. Are you in the game yet? With LeBron? This is the whole point, But we've had some bad luck. It's been either a commercial or Luka is on the bench. Ooh, the Tom Blythe. Black boy. Yeah, it's been a minute. Reeves with the layup. He's dynamic. Definitely seeing more athletic European and Caucasian players in the NBA now. You had them, back in the day, but a lot of them were foreign. You're getting some, just straight up not European, but just like Caucasian, great white hype greatness in all sports. Kind of cool to see. Chief Will Chief. Well, dude, what's one of your favorite things? You got one of those like underground rap artists that we were talking about. Like, what a good way to be able to, you give me somebody. You got, who's your favorite underground artist or someone that you haven't seen a photo of or someone that you like? Like for me, I like the originals. I like Outkast. I like, the Aquemini album. There's Luca. He's in the game. I can see him. Oh, come on, Luca. Show me something. I mean, I know you can't play defense, but maybe LeBron can, suggest it. Maybe what do you think about playing on that side of the ball? What do you say? Because eventually, LeBron will be retired, and it'll be Luka's team. So, but the key question will be, after LeBron retires, can you win a championship with your superstar only being a one-sided player? Even if he's a guy that puts up 30, 40, 50, 60. I mean, when it comes down to it, can he end up playing defense, at least for a couple possessions? So that way you might be able to win a championship or a West Final. And that's what the legacy will be. And then if you end up making it, do you get exposed as you can't guard anybody? And that's kind of the thing for him. It's everyone knows he's one of the best players in the NBA, but defense is not there. So Bronny James. Well, you see Bronny on the bench sometimes, either there or the G League. They're going to, depending on what they have on the bench, they may have him on the team. They may send him down for playing time. And, but that definitely was, my dad is LeBron James, because if we're actually looking at stats, if that wasn't LeBron James's son, probably wouldn't have been drafted at all. If we're just, so again, sometimes, it's the legacy thing, but Bronny, I think has potential that if he can get better, he might be a guy that could average, 10 to 12, maybe maxing out at 14 or 15, something like that, being a good role player, but again, we'll see his development after his dad is away from him on the court. And, you can always be there for him behind the scenes, but we'll see how good Bronny James turns into. I don't think it's going to be like LaMelo Ball, emerging as the best Ball brother out of all of them. And, I don't think he's going to be that good, but that would be shocking. But you never know. And it's sick stolen bases, and it's about, using players like Victor Robles and trying to get him to second base, on that first, obviously out, and maximizing bunts and, getting him on base. And then once getting him to first and second, scoring in the first inning. And the more aggressive the Mariners can be, and the more elite we can be with Julio on the bags. And then obviously Robles will be elite, but who else is going to be elite besides those two? And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 we're got guys at second and third on the regular. Bing bong, we actually get some hits, and then we get to 90 wins, 90 and 72. That's not being greedy. That should be the standard if you want to make the playoffs. And then if you don't hit 90, it has to be 88 or 89, because if you're not there, you're fucked, because someone else has probably got a better record than you. So that's just real talk. LeBron and Bronny. Oh, they got to put Bronny on the list. Michael and Klay Thompson were badass. Oh, Reeves hits the deck. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you actually watched Bronny play, it's not like he can't shoot, and it's not like he's athletic. He can dunk. He's just not his dad. I mean, LeBron James is, freak of nature, right? So, but, he has a chance to be, I think, a role player. I don't know if he'll ever be an all-star. That would be maybe a stretch. That's not being a hater. It's just, I don't think he's ever, for a guy that averaged 5 points a game, it's if you're averaging 5, 6 points a game and college, whether it's just a year, and then, you're LeBron James is your dad. Yeah, you might be able to put up 10 to 15 once in a while, but it really depends on how much playing time do you get, and how good is the team that you're on. And the Lakers usually have pretty good players, so it's not like they can be like, oh, we're going to do your son a favor. Let's throw him in there. Like, but he does have athleticism, but I think it's too early really to judge where Bronny's career is going to go. I mean, the peak that he turns himself into an all-star, that would be like peak. But I think a lot would have to happen for that. Luka. Nice pass by Luka. Doncic. Corner three. Bang. It's good. I like that, though. Yeah, because, I mean, if we're not going to be in the top 10 in payroll, we have to find other ways to have the advantage to try to beat teams besides just having elite pitching and hopefully a healthy bullpen. You know, and if we can figure that out. Ooh, nice pass. Luka behind his head. Bang for three. Oh, Luka putting on a show. Luka Doncic. You know, but I think, you know, it all depends if you understand, you know, baseball, but then also understanding the Mariners and, you know, ownership, management, GM, you know, and all of these like little intricacies that are already inside of baseball as it is, like triple plays and these things that happen once in a while. But, you know, if you dig in and you're on that same page, Reeves for a deep three. Who's on a heat check? No good. 51-39. Lakers. Luka, what a pass. Dime. No, that's why no one criticizes anything that Luka does on offense, because he can pass, he can rebound, he can do the flashy stuff, he can take over a game, he can go inside, he can go outside, he can shoot a three, he can get hot, he can put up 30, 40, 50, 60. You know, if someone were to hit 70 and they say Luka, you wouldn't be shocked. Like, I think, you know, certain people have, you know, already proven what they can do. Like, but we want to be able to see the thing that, you know, maybe people think that you can't do. Can you turn yourself into like all NBA, first team or second team, all defense? Or are you just going to be a one-sided player for your whole career? That might be the difference between him actually winning a couple titles and being one of the best of all time, or just being a really, really good player but never played defense. Manufactured them runs like the Cardinals in 82. That was a long time ago. Oh, hello. STL, Megan, Reflect, Chief will Chief. Chief will Chief. I'm not sure if Chief will Chief is still in the building, but if not, I will go and do a photo for him. Chief will Chief. Boom. Jamal Charles. Can't hate on that. With the Redskin, Champ Bailey in the background. All fuzzy. Alex Smith in the snow. That has brought you back in time. not JT, needs to go get the eggs and make himself breakfast for dinner. Omelet. Appreciate you. Chief Will, Chief. Oh, baby, you know what it is. Insanity. I mean, give me a dunk contest like this. I mean, it's like you don't see things like this. It's like seeing RVD in his prime in ECW, and you either saw it or you didn't, and you either watched this or you didn't. There you go. You know, I bring it. I bring it. I bring it. Like Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. The Vince. 55-39. We got a few minutes before halftime here. Luka Doncic, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists against his former team. But it's, at home. I feel like Laker games, it feels lazy. Like I'm watching like greatness with like Luka and LeBron, but the setting is like going to a concert or a show. So it feels like such a laid back, kind of weird environment where you don't really get the passion from the fans screaming and cheering like it used to be. So it's like I feel like when the plays happen, you don't really see that much excitement unless it's like a game winner. Then you see people jump up and show some emotion and whatnot. But just kind of an observation when I watch some of these like Laker games now. It's definitely a weird vibe. You can definitely tell LA is Dodger Town. Like, regardless of Ohtani being there or not, like, it's always been, that has been number one. Lakers always a very strong two, but definitely a lot more Dodgers than Lakers. Even with LeBron and Luka. But definitely has spiked a little hype in Dodger fans, I assume. They're like, ooh, LeBron and Luka, right? And they're ranked like 4th, 5th in the West. So people think, ooh, maybe we'll do something and, win it all. But I mean, Reeves is badass. I can accept, quality pieces, even if they're on like kind of like a rival team and whatnot. I mean, Lakers got some good pieces, but they don't got enough defense, though. I don't think anyone would take them over Denver or OKC if you've watched them play this year. Those teams actually fucking play D. They rebound. They play for each other, and they got a lot of two-way players. Like, I feel like, you got teams that have like Hall of Fame players probably with LeBron and Luka. If Luka keeps going and Reeves is badass, he gives you that spark. But it's like, what about the other role players? What happens if those guys get in foul trouble? Do you have anyone that you can rely on if Luka and LeBron or one of the two is out? Like, those are the questions you have to ask when you watch NBA games when it gets closer to the playoffs. Facts. Scholastic Book Fair, Oregon Trail, Goosebumps. Choose your own adventure. Anything else I can get you for a photo, Megan? For your donos, I got Chief with Chief. I can get Reflect. There we go. I got a couple Reflects. Just like Vinsanity. All right, there we go. I got files. I got files on y'all. Who's the man? Reflect, you the man. Blazers, Wizards tomorrow at 4. I know it's a little early. But if you're bored, I want to hang out with your boy. That's what we're doing. Blazers on Wednesday at 4. Blazers on Friday, I think around 4:30 as well, Pacific time. And then we'll see what's on Thursday. Might have to just do whatever the best NBA game is. LeBron James. LeBron James. I love old school photos. Singers, actors, rappers, band members. Oh yeah, Spud won. Spud was fun, man, because like he was a guy that never was going to be the best player, on the team. But when you get someone that is like very, very tiny, from like 5 foot to 5'7", when you got all of these NBA players that are 6'5" to 7'6", 7'7", back in that time period. So if you're under 6 foot, you probably can't dunk. Even if you're at 6 foot, that's a long ways for a 10-foot hoop. Even for someone that is like Iverson size, like you have to have really strong leg muscles, to have that burst if you're 6 foot. But imagine being like 5 foot to like 5'7", and we had Muggsy Bogues, obviously on the Hornets, and then Spud Webb. But like you weren't seeing Muggsy throw him down. Spud could jump, and then since he was so short, that's why he won. Because like when you dunk and you're short, it takes a long time to get up there, like, a few seconds, rather than a big guy. It's like right away, bang. But if it's like a small player and they have some glide to them, right, then it's like you're almost watching in like slow motion. And then when they throw it down with authority and they're a little guy, you're like, holy cow, that was cool. And then boom, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, champion, Spud Webb. That's kind of how it went down. Just like that. I got you. Ace is the place. There's a handsome fella. Oh, LeBron. We get some floppage. Boom. This was STLs at the very beginning, giving us some Cardinals magic. Could have went for a current player, but decides to go for Stan the Man. And obviously, we got people that are under 40, but we also have people that are 40 to 90. So it's very cool to be able to, even see a younger generation person throw up a name of even someone that I didn't even get a chance to watch because I wasn't alive. But obviously, if you read or, seen the books, watched the videos, but some of y'all might have gotten a chance to see Stan the Man. Cool little backdrop on that. We're almost at halftime here. 59-48. Oh, big block. Blasted that block on Luka like Dikembe Mutombo. Finger wag. Rodney Rogers. LaFonso Ellis. Luka with the body. Boom. Hits it right off the glass. Halftime, 59-51. Any other, everyone grab a bib. Skywalker. What you know about Skywalker? Oh, baby. I got to give you the throwback. The king of the ring, the champ is here. Action shot, but I like stuff like this. Give me the throwback look in the black and white. Make me go back in time to really feel what it was like to watch greatness before it became it on the NBA level. That's what this channel will give you. Other channels, not so much. But you get it here. I just got to find them on the internets. Incredible. You got the OG in the back with the glasses and fucking tie with the jersey with the Thompson showing. Oh, epic. Back in the days. All right, Paisley needs attention. Paisley needs a walk. She says, Dad, you need to eat some dinner. Yeah, I love being able to see stuff that even I haven't seen before, or, or even maybe never at all. And then I love being able to be, I'm just always observant. So it's like, even when I look at a photo like this, where you're just looking at the middle, just looking at the individual next to him, with the net around his neck, champion, right? And just the hairstyle, the coat, just looking at people, how they're dressed in the background. It's like, I love being able to see like hairstyles and clothes and just random little things that separate, every era. You just have to kind of pay attention, and then you might be a good guesser on maybe when it was, if you don't already know. Not JT. We got to get him a photo. I know what to do. I know what to do. Ooh. Boom. Boom, shakalaka. And then we end it with the GOAT. The GOAT photo of the GOAT. Number one. Wow, the Shaq. Unbelievable era. Shaquille O'Neal in that Magic uniform. Incredible. And look at the people. I mean, I love the dunk contest when it actually meant something. I mean, it was incredible. No worries. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed those. Not JT. I got to give Paisley a walk here. I got to get that done. But I appreciate every single one of y'all. You guys are the best. I'll be live tomorrow early against the Wizards, 4 o'clock Pacific. Friday, I think, let me see real quick. Friday will be at 4:30 Pacific. Tomorrow will be at 4 Pacific. So it'll be a little early against the Wizards, but that's what we're doing. And then Thursday, I haven't decided, but we'll probably be grinding and doing something on that level as well. What do you want to see? You want to see Tony? Bobby? Who are we talking about? I got you. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to all the people that liked, sub, donated, commented, shared, STL2, Megan 5, Reflect 10, Reflect 3, Megan 2, Megan 2, and everyone else that liked, sub, donated, commented, and shared. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Tomorrow at 4 Pacific against the Wizards, Blazers, Rip City. Hang out if you can. If not, I hope to see you soon. And I got one question for you. We know talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Have a great rest of your night, and I'm out. Okay.